On the night when the Void Era server opened, hundreds of millions of players poured into the novice village like a tide. The air was filled with the moist smell of soil and fresh grass blades, mixed with the deep roars of distant beasts and the excited shouts of players. Qin Feng clenched the nerve connection handle, and his consciousness was instantly immersed in the endless void continent. In front of him was the dilapidated Musa village. The swaying orange light of the torch reflected the densely packed heads. The system prompt sounded like thunder, "Welcome to the Void Era, rookies, stay alive." As soon as he landed, he was pushed away by a group of players in green clothes. A guy with dyed red hair sneered and glanced at him, "Loser. Get out of here, this is the territory of the Iron-Blooded Alliance, the novice mission NPC has been taken over by us, you wait and drink soup." The passers-by players were whispering, and some were gloating, "Look at that poor guy, he didn't even strengthen his novice sword, and he wants to form a team when the server starts." Qin Feng frowned slightly, but didn't say much. He is a genius strategy player. He was obsessed with team copy layout in his early years and knows the hidden attributes and mechanisms well. But now, the task board in Novice Village is crowded with a group of 100 people from the Iron Blood Alliance. They monopolize the monster spawning points and NPC conversations, and the way to upgrade basic tasks to level 10 is blocked. In the distance, the howling of wild wolves is getting closer and closer, the smell of blood is spreading, several lone players have been torn apart, and the red light of experience flashes in the night sky, attracting more ridicule. "Old Qin, this crappy game is too real, and it hurts just like the real thing." The voice of his best friend Tang Tian came from the earphones. He had logged in, and his strong figure squeezed through the crowd, with a green novice axe in his hand, and his face was full of displeasure. "These bastards from the Iron Blood Alliance formed a group of 100 people to bully people when the server started." As soon as he finished speaking, a black shadow flashed past. Assassin Yiji landed on the ground, his slender body wrapped in tight leather armor, and the cold light of the dagger flashed. The intelligence confirmed that the vice president of the Iron Blood Alliance, Mad Wolf, led the team, specializing in blocking resources for novices. Gu Han and Han Xiao are also here. Tank Gu Han knocked away several passers-by like an iron tower, his shield buzzed, and his assistant Han Xiao followed lightly, his staff emitting a soft green light. The 5 people gathered together, but were immediately targeted by the Iron Blood Alliance. The Mad Wolf turned around and walked over with a ferocious smile. The level around him had reached level 5. His green clothes were flashing with enhanced luster. "Hey, 5 individual warriors want to form a team. We, the Iron-Blooded Alliance, want the mission of the leader of the Novice Village Wolf King. Get away, otherwise the group will destroy you and come back to level 0. 100 people behind him laughed, and the sound of the axe and shield clashing was deafening. Someone shouted, "Brother Quang, teach them a lesson and let them know that the Void Era is not a child's play." Gu Han clenched his shield and gritted his teeth and said, "Qin Feng, these bastards have been stuck for 3 hours. We are slow to upgrade and have only 200 basic attributes. We will lose if we fight hard." Yi Ji whispered, "Reconnaissance shows that the Wolf King boss has 50,000 HP and an explosive output. The Iron-Blooded Alliance has 2 tanks in rotation, and we can't get in." Tang Tian was furious, "Damn it, fight. Old Qin, what do you think of the layout?" Qin Feng's heart sank, and the passers-by players around him started to watch and started talking about it. 5-man group. Are you looking for death? The average DPS of the Iron-Blooded Alliance is 150, and the Wolf King's claws are crispy in seconds. Desperation surged like a tide, and the handle was slightly hot. He took a deep breath of virtual air and suppressed his anger. Suppress first and then rise, bear with it. The basic tasks are not urgent, keep an eye on the Wolf King's refresh point. The Iron-Blooded Alliance took advantage of the situation. Mad Wolf waved his hand, and a dozen archers stretched their bowstrings. The arrows pierced the wind and screamed, "Go ahead, teach them a lesson." The arrows rained down, and Gu Han raised his shield to block it. The metal collided with each other, and the health bar dropped by 20%, I can't hold on anymore. Han Shao hurriedly pumped blood, and the green light filled the air, but was ridiculed by Mad Wolf, trash support, the amount of milk is only 50. Get out of the novice village. Just when the team's bloodline was on the verge of collapse, the nerve connection handle in Qin Feng's hand suddenly trembled violently, and a faint blue light burst out from the core of the handle and went straight into his mind. The system prompts like lightning flashing, hidden function unlocked, Heike connection. Detecting teammate attributes. Connecting. Qin Feng's eyes widened, a holographic panel appeared on the controller screen, and Tang Tian's hidden attributes came to his eyes, output potential S level, critical hit rate hidden plus 35%, axe blast not activated. Yi Ji, detection A+, hidden mechanism perception plus 50%, dodge talent potential SS. Gu Han, tank B+, taunt resistance hidden plus 40%, shield rebound not unlocked. Han Shao, assistant A, buff extension hidden plus 30%, attribute check resonance activation. This, impossible. Qin Feng murmured, and the perfect layout flashed in his mind. Tang Tianzhu launched a flank attack, Yi Ji broke the hidden mechanism first, Gu Han pushed forward the iron wall, and Han Shao received chain buffs. The light dissipated and Qin Feng shouted, the connection is complete. Follow my command, Yi Ji, detect the Wolf King's weakness. Gu Han, taunt and draw hatred but don't push hard, move sideways 30 degrees. Tang Tian, charge axe attack. Han Shao, critical hit buff plus strength increase for the whole team. His teammates were stunned, and Tang Tian probed, Old Qin, how did you know that my axe attack was about to explode? But there was no room for hesitation on the battlefield, so they gritted their teeth and executed. The Iron Blood Alliance's arrow rain came again. Gu Han knocked his shield on the ground, his hidden attributes were activated, and the wave of ridicule spread like invisible ripples. The Wolf King boss actually ran from the refresh point in the distance, ignoring the Iron Blood Alliance and rushed towards them. Crazy Wolf's face changed drastically, what? Why did the Wolf King miss the mark? Yi Ji's figure was sneaking like a ghost, and the dagger swiped across the Wolf King's ankle. The system prompted, detection successful. Hidden weakness, hind leg joint, armor penetration rate plus 80%. She screamed, Qin Feng, this. I have never found this before. The Wolf King roared and landed, his giant claws swept towards him, and the bloody wind hit his face. Gu Han's shield rebounded and activated, and the claw attack was bounced back. The Wolf King's health bar dropped by 10%. The passerby player's eyes widened, the tank is hurting back. How is it possible with novice equipment? There is something wrong with the casual team. Tang Tian seized the opportunity, raised his axe high, activated S-level burst, and wrapped in red light, critical axe strike. Boom! An axe hits the weak point, and the number jumps up, 7,482. The violent damage shocked the entire audience, and the Wolf King wailed and retreated. Han Shao waved his staff, and the resonance buff was fully activated, attributes are being optimized. Team strength plus 25%, critical hit plus 40%. Green light poured in like a tide, each person's panel flashed, and DPS doubled instantly. The Iron-Blooded Alliance was dumbfounded, and Mad Wolf's voice trembled, why did the DPS of Sanren suddenly exceed 2,000? Hidden attributes? Impossible, where did such a monster come from Novice Village? The player behind him had weak legs, Brother Quang, the Wolf King has 30% health left, they are optimizing the layout. We can't hold back the hatred. Qin Feng sneered, the handle connected like a baton, and the strategic map in his mind unfolded. Tang Tian hit 3 axes in a row to lock the throat. Yi Ji, the mechanism explodes the hind legs. Gu Han, withstand the wave, Han Shao locks the blood. The 5 people fit together perfectly like gears. The blood bar plummeted as the Wolf King roared, the ground shook, gravel splashed, and blood mist filled the air. Passerby players were already in a frenzy, and someone screamed, "Look at that output. S-level potential. This team is awesome." Another rubbed his eyes, "Controller connection. Black technology. The best strategic genius in the server." The Mad Wolf's face was livid, and he led the team to charge forward, Iron Blood Alliance, destroy them together. But the Wolf King counterattacked and swept away more than a dozen people with one claw. Qin Feng shouted, "Spread out, predict the range." The team dodged flexibly, and Tang Tian's last axe, end. 15,236 critical hits. The Wolf King fell to the ground with a crash, and the system-wide announcement roared, "Player Qin Feng's team killed the Wolf King, the leader of the novice village, and the first pass reward will be distributed." Golden light flooded the ground, and the 5 people's levels soared to level 10. The hidden treasure box exploded, and a fragment glowing with purple light floated up. The hidden cave map fragment, 1/5, points to the forbidden area outside the novice village, the Void Rift. The remnants of the Iron-Blooded Alliance were stunned, and Mad Wolf knelt down, his voice trembling, "You, who are you? This layout is god level." Passers-by worshipped like crazy, Qin Feng, the god of strategy. The Sand People counterattacked the Iron-Blooded Alliance. Qin Feng put away the fragments and looked at the black mist-shrouded forbidden area outside the village. The handle became hot again, and the system secretly prompted, "Traces of the legendary boss, the artifact Void Blade, have been detected. But, the president of the Iron Blood Alliance has gathered thousands of people, and the siege is about to begin." In the distance, dust is flying on the horizon, guild flags are hunting, and murderous intent is skyrocketing. Tang Tian gasped, wolf blood was still dripping from the axe, and the smell of blood was pungent. "Old Qin, you are right, but our new green gloves only have 80 DPS for ordinary wolves, which is as inefficient as a turtle." Gu Han wiped the claw marks on the shield, and the shield buzzed with aftershocks. "I agree, the Wolf King's rebound has reduced the durability of my shield by 30%, so replenish blood and recharge." Yi Ji flashed and dived into the shadows. Information: the wild wolves in the East Woodland are spawning quickly, but there are small groups of people trying to grab monster spots. Han Xiao tapped the ground, and the green light swept across the team, and the recovery buff was like a cool breeze. The team's life recharge is plus 15%, but the sustainability is weak. Qin Feng, can your connection be optimized? In the dusty distance, the 1,000-man flags of the Iron Blood Alliance rolled like waves of blood, the sound of horse hooves like footsteps shook the ground, and the air was filled with a rust like murderous intent and the stench of sweat. Qin Feng glanced at it, and the controller connection panel flashed with the hidden data of his teammates. He whispered, "Don't fight hard, retreat first. Monsters are spawned in the forest east of Novice Village, and the farm equipment has upgraded attributes. The Iron-Blooded Alliance has a 1,000-man group, with an average level of 8, and we will destroy it with DPS firepower." The passers-by and players around were still worshipping, and a few casual players came up to them with bright eyes. "Master, lead us." Qin Feng, the god of strategy, is the first to pass through the Wolf King, and the S-level output of that axe is 7,482 critical hits, awesome. But Qin Feng too didn't do it either. Back, he led the team and galloped out, with a flurry of comments behind them. "How dare a group of 5 people ignore a group of 1,000 people? Crazy." The Iron Blood Alliance vanguard has approached the entrance of the village, and the roar of the Mad Wolf echoed, "Qin Feng, if you dare to steal our first pass, you are dead." The teammate panel flashed instantly, and the data jumped like lightning. Tang Tian's eyes widened, and the red light of the axe skyrocketed. "Fuck. Old Qin, how did you know that my skill tree has this hidden branch? I tried wolf brushing more than a dozen times before, but it didn't trigger it. Now the DPS is straight up to 150. Yi Ji's dagger was wrapped in fog, and his figure was translucent. The detection range has been expanded to 50 yards, the hidden traps are all bright. Qin Feng, Is this connection a black technology? Gu Han's shield buzzed, and the surface cracks healed themselves. The shield hardness is plus 20%, and the probability of damage is 70%. I feel that I can withstand the elite wolf. Han Zhao's green light is intertwined like silk, the buff is stacked 3 times, the duration is doubled, and the whole team's attribute growth preview is plus 20%. But at the beginning of spawning monsters, difficulties followed. The first wave of wild wolves rushed towards him, claw wind howling. In front of Gu Han, 3 elite wolves focused their fire, and their health bar dropped by 15%, fuck me. The DPS is not enough, their attack speed is too fast. Tang Tian's axe fell, and the critical hit was only 1200. The thick skin of the wolves reduced the damage, fuck, the new equipment has no armor, and the output is stuck. Yiji dodges perfectly but can't inflict damage, weak the point is not locked, and the mechanism sense is still cooling down. Han Zhao's buff is delayed for a moment, and the team's strength is only plus 10%, the resonance is not stable, Qin Feng can't suppress it. The individual players passing by snickered, why are you pretending to be a master of first pass? The green equipment is rubbish, and the total attribute is only 300 at level 10. How ridiculous. In the woodland to the east, towering ancient trees block out the sun. The sour smell of rotting leaves and wild animal dung is assimilating to your nostrils. The low roars of wolves echo, and their red eyes flash in the mist. Qin Feng's handle is hot, the connection is fully opened, and the holographic panel expands like a galaxy. Adjust the skill tree. Tang Tian, activate the axe chain, burst output plus 25%, critical hit hiding 35%, fully open. Yiji, stealth detection upgrade, mechanism perception superimposed dodge SS talent. Gu Han, shield strengthened, rebound resistance plus 40% bound to taunt. Han Xiao, buff continuous full, resonance extension plus 30%, whole team's power critical hit lock. Qin Feng frowned, the controller connection was running wildly, and the data flow was deduced in his mind, suppress it to the extreme, and then raise it. Tang Tian, charge the chain axe on the flank, predict the path of the wolf pack. Yiji, break the 3 weaknesses first, and pass through the armor. Gu Han, the taunt range spreads, the rebound detonates. Han Xiao, lock my connection, the resonance explodes. Teammates gritted their teeth and executed in desperation, sweat slid down the virtual forehead, and the smelly wolf blood spattered all over their bodies. Suddenly, Tang Tian's axe light erupted, hitting 3 times in a chain, 2480, 3120, and critical hit 5120. The wolf heads flew together, and the blood mist exploded. Yiji ghostly shuttled, dagger across the joint, weakness chain, armor breaking plus 50% shared by the whole team. Gu Han's shield knocked on the ground, taunting the waves like thunder, rebounding claws to make the wolves kill each other, the numbers jumped, 1800 by 3 damage. Han Zhao's green tide surged, attribute growth is activated, the whole team plus 20%. The wolves fell to the ground wailing, experience golden light like rain, and equipment fragments clanking to the ground, green wolf leather armor, strengthened wolf claw ring. The eyes of the casual players onlookers widened, and some people rubbed their eyes and screamed, this, DPS breaks 5000. The green equipment has a blue equipment level output. That tank is hurting back, taunting the 8-headed wolf. Impossible. Another kneeled down with weak legs, the strategic layout is amazing. Their total attributes have soared from 300 to 300. 360, an increase of 20%, and the remaining heat from the first pass is still burning. Tang Tian laughed and patted Qin Feng on the shoulder, old Qin, your handle is a magic weapon. After the skill tree is optimized, I feel invincible. But Qin Feng shook his head, that's not enough. The Iron Blood Alliance is approaching, and everyone will start with 10 waves of equipment. Zhengnong's third wave of elites, conflict breaks out. 20 individual players rushed out of the bushes, and the leader of the berserker shouted, this is a weird point for us, the the indivincible alliance, to take over first. Get out of here, are you going to grab resources in the first pass? They were level 9, with half of their green equipment enhanced. The archers pulled the strings, and the arrows pierced the air and howled, concentrate the fire on the crispy skin, and kill the assassin in seconds. Yiji's health bar dropped by 30%, the figure narrowly dodged, there are too many people, we can't hold it. Gu Han raised his shield, clanging loudly, the hatred is scattered, their DPS is 150 times 20, they can't hold it down. Tang Tian roared, robbing us monsters. Looking for death. But the axe fell only injured 2,000, and the shield battle group laughed, garbage output, garbage attributes. The monster spawning is in full swing, and the values have soared. Tang Tian axe has been strengthened by +3, and the DPS is stable at 180, Yi Ji's leather armor has been upgraded, and the dodge rate is 85%, Gu Han's shield flashes with blue light, and the shield value is 5,000, Han Zhao's staff blooms, and the buff stacks up to 4 layers. Wolf carcasses piled up in the air, the rotten stench intertwined with the sound of metal collisions, and the Iron Blood Alliance scouts in the distance had already looked out, report to the president, Qin Feng is in Donglin farm equipment, and his speed is unparalleled. The teammates were stunned, and the Sanren Alliance laughed wildly, listen to the Sanren's command. You are laughing to death. But the situation was reversed in an instant. Yi Jiru's ghost rushed into the group of archers, and flashed his dagger, weakness blast. The armor-breaking wave spread, the whole team's penetration +70%, and the arrow rain became self-inflicted. Gu Han's shield shook the ground, ripples of ridicule swept through 20 people, the sound of rebounding metal collision was like thunder, and the leader's health bar dropped by 25%, what the hell? My shield is broken, and the damage is 3,000. Tang Tian's red light shot into the sky, and his ultimate move, Axe Soul Explosion, blasted out, chain critical hit 8560, 10240, final critical hit 19,800. 5 people were killed instantly, leaving corpses everywhere. Passers-by watched from a distance and commented, the Sanren Alliance has a group of 20 people, and Qin Feng's team is about to overturn. He was still calm just now, and now he is being beaten. Desperation overwhelmed Qin Feng, and Qin Feng's controller connected to the limit, and the panel data poured down like a torrential rain, layout activated. Yi Ji, stealth around to break the archer weakness, past the defense. Gu Han, use full taunt, rebound to lock the fierce battle leader. Tang Tian, use the explosive move, predict the chain path. The buff explosion, the whole team's critical attack +35%. The remnants of the Sanren Alliance were stunned, and the leader knelt down and trembled, you, broke 10,000 DPS. The hidden attributes of the blue equipment are fully activated. The prediction of this layout is amazing. We surrender. The passers-by around them exploded and screamed, Qin Feng wiped out the whole group in one wave. 20 people. The god of strategy, Sanren is awesome. The whole server chat has become famous. Some people bowed their heads and said, Master, accept me as your younger brother. The value of the connection panel will increase by 20%, and we can only increase it by 5%. Qin Feng put away his trophies, Blue Wolf King wristbands, team experience gems, and said calmly, the equipment has been upgraded, and the total attributes of all members are 420, entering the next stage. Yi Ji, explore the entrance to the Void Crack Cave. Yi Ji nodded, and his figure merged into the mist, let's start the investigation. After a while, Yi Ji turned back, with a pale face, and gasped, the entrance is in the black mist forbidden area outside the village, guarded by 3 levels of mechanisms. The first level, rotating stone thorn trap, triggering the instant crispy skin, the second level, invisible poisonous fog array, reducing defense by 80%, continuous debuff, the third level, guarding the beast group, 10 elite wolves, each with 20,000 HP, concentrated fire DPS 3,000. There are traces of the legendary boss in the fragment guide, but the kill rate is 90%. Tang Tian gasped, third level. We can't stand it with the blue equipment. Gu Han held the tank, but the poisonous fog suppressed the taunt. The buff can alleviate it by 20%, but the durability needs to be optimized. Qin Feng connects the controller to perform deductions, clicks with his fingers in the air, and the three-dimensional map in his mind unfolds. The red line marks the path, and the green dot weakness flashes. The perfect route is locked. Yi Ji breaks the first stone thorn first, dodges the SS and detonates the chain reaction. Gu Han tops the second fog formation, rebounds to dissolve the toxins. Tang Tian explodes to clear the flanks of the third beast group. Han Zhao's central buff extends the team's resistance plus 50%. I control the timing, and the controller's prediction mechanism is refreshed. The success rate of the raid is 98%. His teammates were shocked, and Tang Tian murmured, "Old Qin, your deduction speed, optimize the route within 3 seconds. A god-level strategy." Yi Ji's eyes lit up. "You have memorized all the investigation data, and I didn't even see the hidden mechanism weaknesses." Gu Han nodded heavily. "I listen to you, Iron Wall will follow." Han Zhao's green light flashed, resonance preparation, resonance mechanism buff. The team assembles, blue equipment flashes, and marches towards the black mist forbidden area. At the entrance to the void rift, mist puffed out like a ghost, the stone door roared low, and the smell of decay and sulfur hit your face. Qin Feng was about to order a surprise attack when he shouted from a distance to Qilzhentian, "The Iron Blood Alliance's 1,000-man regiment has finally arrived." President Blood Slaughter rode a war horse and made a sound like thunder. "We, the Iron-Blooded Alliance, own the cave exclusively. Qin Feng, hand over the fragments, or thousands of people will crush you." Flag hunting, bows and arrows and shields lined up, murderous intent came like a mountain, and the scattered people around trembled. A group of 1,000 people vs 5 people. It's over. The black mist rolled like a living thing, swallowing up the sight, and the stench of sulfur and decay penetrated the nostrils. Thousands of Iron Blood Alliance men's footsteps were like 10,000 horses galloping, the ground trembled, and the bowstrings buzzed harshly. The Blood Slaughterer sat high on his horse, hunting in a blood-red cloak, and his voice was like thunder. "Team Qin Feng, the cave belongs to Iron Blood. Hand over the fragments, I will spare your life." Arrows rained down, screaming through the air. Gu Han's shield swung horizontally, jingling, guarding the shield value dropped by 2,000, and the health bar was almost half broken. Thousands of people are pressing down on the situation, and the taunts can't hold it back. The DPS is massive, I can't hold it back. Yi Ji's figure shook, poisonous arrows passed by, and the sound of tearing leather armor made a crisp sound. There are too many scouts, it can't be broken after going around. Tang Tian swung his axe in the air, and the axe light only swept down a few wings in the roar. Fuck, the hatred is scattered, the output is stuck at 3,000. Han Zhao's green light barely maintained, and sweat rolled down. Buff suppression, the resistance is only 30%, and the whole team is full of debuffs. The scattered players around them screamed, 5 people against 1,000 people. Suicide. The average DPS of the Iron Blood is 120, and the total output is overwhelming. Qin Feng sneered, and the blue light on the controller flashed, force. The layout changed. Yi Ji circled back to defeat their scouts. Gu Han taunted the front pressure. Tang Tianzhu output locked blood massacre. Han Xiao was buffed. The agency borrowed power, let them suffer the consequences. Teammates' blood boiled. Tang Tian's axe sounded, "Fuck you, counterattack thousands of people." In the black mist, the flames of war broke out. Yi Ji's dagger flashed, SS dodge was activated, the ghost circled the edge of the stone door, the 50-yard reconnaissance was fully opened, the red dot weakness lit up, the stone thorns rotate, the chain reaction starts. She touched the ground with her toes, and her figure pulled the iron-blooded striker in midair. The stone thorns suddenly erupted, and the ground cracked like a giant beast's bloody mouth. The iron-blooded front row screamed and collapsed. Trap. Instantly kill our tank. Gu Han's shield hit the fog, the rebound wave spread like a thunder ring, the arrow rain hit the archer, the sound of the metal rain was deafening, the damage was 2800 by 30, and the archer's health bar was empty. The shield rebounded by 70%, forcing us to self-destruct. Monster. Tang Tian's red light shot into the sky, the axe soul exploded to predict the landing point, chain critical hit 8560, and 19800, tearing apart the flanking formation of thousands of people, corpses lay on the bloody road, and the bloody wind hit his face. Desperation is like fog, Qin Feng's handle is as hot as a soldering iron, and the connection panel flashes with a rain of data, leverage your strength to fight. Yi Ji, trigger the first stone thorn mechanism, lock the iron-blooded forward. Gu Han, the rebound wave spreads, pulling the archers together. Tang Tian, prepare a big move to explode from the flank, preemptively judge the impact of the arrow rain. Han Xiao, the resistance of the resonance mechanism is increased by 60%, the whole team dodges and locks. Forcefully break into the cave, the mechanism is cleared. His teammates were startled, and he gritted his teeth, "Old Qin, thousands of people, are you crazy?" But in an instant, the figure moved like a ghost in the black mist. Inside the cave, it was dark and damp, with the sound of water dripping from the moss on the walls echoing. The first layer of poisonous mist rolled like green clouds, and the acrid and sour smell went straight into the lungs. There were only 5 yards left in sight. Yi Ji took the lead, his figure translucent. The poisonous fog reduces the defense by 80%, and the debuff stacks 3 layers and the skin becomes crispy in seconds. Invisible tentacles sprang out from the fog, wrapped around Gu Han's legs, and the blood bar dropped by 25%. I can't hold it, the resistance collapsed. Tang Tian's axe fell into the air, and the output was only 40%. Can't break the fog, DPS is stuck. Han Zhao's green light dimmed, the buff is relieved by 20%, and it can't be suppressed to continue. Qin Feng deduced, and the 3-dimensional map flashed. Yi Ji, detect the core of weakness, open the armor-piercing transmission. Circle the center of the fog 3 times, detonate the chain. Yi Ji's eyes lit up, remember. The dagger arced, evading 85% like a dance, and pierced the fog core. The armor-piercing wave spread plus 70%, the green mist disintegrated like glass, and the poison backfired on itself, and the number jumped, range damage 4500x full fog. Xue Tu's face was livid, and his horse was neighing. He roared, "How dare you take advantage of the trap, you trash! Come on, destroy them all!" But Qin Feng sneered, "Break in." The team rushed into the stone gate like arrows, the mist engulfed the figure, and the iron blood behind them was howling incessantly, and the scattered people surrounded the audience was dumbfounded, borrowing thousands of people to step on the trap. Stone stabs 20 people in seconds, and the DPS is unparalleled. Qin Feng's layout, God. Chats across the server flooded the screen. Black Mist, the god of strategy, slaughtered thousands of people. 5 individual people broke into the legendary cave, awesome. The second layer of stone statues awakened, the 12 giant statues roared, their stone arms swung like hammers, the ground cracked and roared, and dust flew up mixed with the fishy smell of stone chips. In front of Gu Han, the shield clanged wildly, and the shield dropped 3000, concentrated fire DPS 4000 by 12, taunting scattered. The stone fist hit, and the aftermath shook the health bars of his teammates. Tang Tian's side attack only injured 1500, stone skin reduces damage by 90%, can't be broken. Yi Ji dodges the danger, the mechanism is chained, and the field is controlled when hit. Han Zhao's milk volume cannot keep up, the bloodline is red. Qin Feng's line went crazy, Gu Han, the rebound is locked on the stone core, and the taunting range is expanded to be plus. The chain axe predicts the impact path. Yi Ji, backstabs the joint to break the armor. The buff resistance stacks up 4 times. Gu Han roared loudly, the shield shook the ground, ripples of ridicule swept across, the rebound wave exploded like a stone joint, and the gravel splashed, causing 3,600 damage. X12, the health bar of the stone statue dropped by 40%, rebound by 70%, the stone core is broken. Tang Tian's axe exploded, a chain of 5,120 critical hits penetrated the stone skin, Yi Ji's dagger ghostly stabbed the back, armor-piercing superimposed, the stone statue collapsed like a mountain, and the roar was deafening. The moment the fog dissipated, his teammates gasped, and Tang Tian stared, "Holy shit, Yi Ji, you are so fast at breaking cores, are we immune to all the debuffs in the fog?" Old Qin predicted the path for 3 rounds, and he was so accurate. Gu Hondun hummed, "The resistance is maxed out, I feel invincible." A passerby poked his head in and screamed, "The first one to break through the poisonous fog." Detect SS talent, armor-piercing pass to the whole team, the Sanran Alliance is crying. The third level of elite wolves pounced out, 10 giant blood-eyed wolves, claws roaring in the wind, each with 20,000 health, and the smell of rotting flesh was assailable. In front of Tang Tianzhu, the critical hit of the axe fall was only 8,000, thick-skinned elite, focus fire DPS 3,000 to suppress the blood. Gu Han pulled 5 heads and rebounded the claw attack to hurt himself, the hatred cannot be stabilized. Yi Ji circled back and stabbed in the air, the weakness is hidden, cooling down. Han Xiaolu surged, the whole team has plus 35% strength, hold on. Qin Feng's panel expanded, Tang Tian, the flanks exploded, clearing the 8 heads. Yi Ji, the locked tail spine was broken. Han Xiao, the resonance was extended, the critical hit was 60%. The wolf heads flew together, the blood mist exploded, and 8 heads flew in an instant. The remnant wolf fell to the ground wailing, and the golden rain of experience poured down. Gu Han wiped his sweat and his voice trembled, "Old Qin, are you deducing the stone statue refresh cycle?" The rebound detonated the whole chain, doubled the DPS, and my shield durability is still 80%. Yi Ji dropped stone chips from his dagger, backstab pass, it feels like our total attributes have increased by another 10%. The followers' legs were weak, double instant kill. Tank God Wall, the master of strategy is well deserved. The guardian boss, Shadow Lizard, in the depths wakes up, with a huge body like a mountain, black light from its scales swallowing the lights, spitting poisonous breath, sour heat waves scorching the skin, and a roar that shakes the roof of the cave and rocks rain down. The health bar is 500,000, AoE is ready, and the tail sweep screams, DPS 4000 continues, deceleration debuff is fully activated. Gu Han holds up the shield shatters with a crisp sound, can't hold it, tail sweep seconds to the back row. Tang Tian's output is stuck at 5,000, scale the armor can't be broken. Yi Ji lost half of his blood, the poison breath penetrates. Han Xiao burst out, the bloodline collapsed. Qin Feng's handle connected to the limit, and the boss hidden panel exploded, weaknesses, 80% armor penetration of the eye core, 5 seconds of tail vertebra damage, and abdominal scale rebound point. Rotate the layout. Gu Han taunts the keyhole, and Tang Tianzhu's axe explodes in the abdomen. Yi Ji stabs the tail vertebrae on the back, predicting the explosion period for 5 seconds. Han Xiao, the buff rotates to critical hit the keyhole core plus 70%. I control the AoE dodge path. The first wave of AoE poisonous fog blasted violently, the green wave swept across, Gu Han's shield was shattered and reborn, the rebound was resolved, and the numbers jumped 1800x fog. His teammates dodge perfectly, and Tang Tian's axe hits the core, critical hit 25,600. Yi Ji's dagger stings the tail, breaks the armor and passes it to the whole team. Killing 200,000 people with blood, weakness locked. DPS doubled. The second wave swept like a hurricane, Gu Han rebounded and caused self-injury, the monitor lizard's health bar dropped wildly, and Han Zhao's green light intertwined, the team's resistance is 100%, and the critical hit stacks 6 times. The third wave tore the ground with claws, Qin Feng's prejudgment flash, and the teammates concentrated fire and finally exploded, Tang Tian's ending axe Sol 51200, the eye core shattered, the monitor lizard fell to the ground with a roar, and the corpse exploded with golden light into the sky. Tang Tian laughed, his axe dripping with wolf blood. Old Qin, after optimizing the controller, my DPS exceeded 30,000. Hidden branches are fully opened, it's so cool. The team's attributes increased again, with a total of 420 and 460. The surrounding adventurers knelt down, all 3 layers are broken. The Wolf King's blood is 20,000, and he can kill for the first time, the divine team. Tang Tian hugged Qin Feng and roared, "Old Qin, artifact. Our attributes soared to 650, we killed the legendary boss for the first time, and we are in the top 100. Yi Ji burst into tears, strategy master. The only one in the whole server, your hidden career awakening is shocking the past. Gu Han knelt down, Lord, iron and blood are nothing. Han Zhao's green light surrounded the whole cave, growth by 50%, invincible. The whole server announcement roared, world's first kill, Shadow Lizard. The scattered Qin Feng team, the master of strategy, turned out. Counterattack on the ranking list, killing the top 10. Chat bombardment, the artifact void bracelet. Attributes plus 50%, unparalleled for individual people. Iron-blooded people cry and faint, and thousands of people will get the first pass for free. The explosion rate flashes, the artifact void bracelet lands on the ground, the blue and purple light is dazzling, and the attributes appear. The total attributes of the whole team after equipping it are plus 50%, the growth rate is permanently plus 30%, and the hidden skills are unlocked. Qin Feng picked it up, the bracelet merged, the handle connection sublimated, and the holographic panel exploded like a star. The strategy master awakens. Team copy success rate plus 99%, attribute preview is the only one in the server. Teammate panels jump together, Tang Tianzong 580, DPS stable 350, Yi Ji's dodge 95%, Gu Han's shield 8000, Han Zhao's 5-layer sustainable buff. The black mist boiled like ink, the screams of arrows tearing through the air were piercing to the bones, the smell of rust and blood mixed with sulfur hit the nostrils, the footsteps of hundreds of elites were like thunder, and cracks spread on the ground. The blood slaughterer sat high on his horse, with blood-red eyes and a twisted smile, artifact void bracelet. Isolated trash, total DPS is 50,000, I will crush your bones. The shield battle forward was surrounded by shields, buzzing and taunting. The archers were buzzing when pulling strings, and the mage was charging up fireballs and spitting out red light. Gu Han swung his shield, the shield value dropped by 4,500, and the health bar was almost broken. Hundreds of people are pressing down on the formation, there is a huge amount of hatred, I can't withstand the first 3 seconds. Tang Tian swung his axe, only 2 wings were swept down, and the output was stuck at 4,000, fuck, the formation is iron plate. The sides can't be broken. Yi Ji's figure swayed, and the arrows scraped against the leather armor and there was a crisp sound of tearing. Scout road closure, dodge pressure 60%. Han Zhao's green light barely poured out, and beads of sweat rolled down his forehead, the debuff stacked 4 times, and the whole team's resistance collapsed. Rubbles fell from the depths of the cave, and the pressure was like a mountain, and the scattered explorers screamed and retreated. The average equipment is plus 2, the total DPS is incredible, and the 5 of them are dead. Despair is like a black tide, Qin Feng's left-hand void bracelet pulses with blue and purple light, the handle connection explodes like a galaxy, and the holographic panel expands a 200-meter range scan, the weakness of the blood massacre riding attribute, horse leg armor breaking point, the elite formation, the cluster of mages in the middle is easy to rebound, the hidden debuff. Fog delays the attack speed by 15%. He sneered at the deduction, and the buzzing of his bracelets remotely optimized the injection into his teammates, used the mist to backfire. Gu Han, rebound to lock the blood and slaughter the horse's legs, draw the mage crowd to laugh. Tang Tian, use the ultimate move to predict the explosion of the heart of the formation, chain clearing the archers. Yi Ji, ghostly backstabbing the vice president, full armor piercing. Han Xiao, resonance. The buff resistance is increased by 80%, and the critical strike range is spread. The bracelet unlocks the hidden skill, Void Mirror, which confuses the whole team for 30 seconds. The teammates' panels flash together, and the attributes increased again. Tang Tian's DPS lock was 400W, Yi Ji's dodge was 99%, and Gu Han's shield was increased by 10,000. Gu Han roared loudly, the shield shook the ground like thunder, ripples of ridicule swept through the horse's legs, the rebound wave exploded, the blood mist, the horse neighed and broke its leg tragically, the blood butcher fell into the mud, the numbers jumped, instant death penetration 12,000. The iron-blooded mage gathered fire to bite back on himself. The fireballs collided with each other and exploded with a roar. The range burned 5,000 by 20. He screamed in succession, the shield rebounded and locked us. The horse's legs are weak. Tang Tian's axe soul shot up with red light in the sky, anticipating the chain of big moves in the center of the formation. Crit 25600X Archer's Chain, and 51200 to clear the middle. The bloody wind hit his face, and the sound of the bowstring breaking was heard. Yi Ji's translucent figure is like a ghost, the dagger pierces the back of the deputy Mad Wolf, and the armor is passed to the whole team plus 90%. The Mad Wolf kneels down and spurts blood, backstab S++, attribute optimization. All our DPS rebounded. Han Zhao's green tide continues, the mirror image of the bracelet dances wildly, elites cut the air and kill each other, and the attack speed debuff is slowed down by 50%. Xuetu got up, his face pale and trembling, Void Mirror. The remote optimization is 200 meters, individual people hide artifacts, and the team's attributes exceed 700. Impossible. But Qin Feng's figure has already disappeared, and the team used the fog to sneak out of the back door. The handle map fragments merge to guide, evacuate the novice village, the mechanism will self-destruct and seal the cave. There were hundreds of people behind him. It turned into a mess, and the DPS backfired and exploded 60 people. The remaining people were scurrying around, and the sand people were stunned, 100 spirits collapsed in an instant. Mirror confusion plus rebound. C. Qin Feng bracelet black technology, the strategy master slaughtered the gods. The whole server chat went crazy, the cave counter killed the iron-blooded 100 people. The remote buff of the artifact, the sand people are invincible. The lights of Novice Village are swaying, the smoke from the wooden houses is mixed with the aroma of barbecue, the players are bustling, and the stalls are bustling with hawking. But the Qin Feng team returned with a backpack full of golden light, Blue Wolf King wristbands, team experience gems, and shadow scale stacks. In front of the auction house, passers-by players gathered around with wide eyes, first kill of the artifact team. There are mountains of materials, experience gems worth 100,000. Qin Feng sold it calmly, the system gold coins rained down, experience surged, the team soared to level 10, and the attributes increased by another 30%, and the total exceeded 800. The blue light flashed on Tang Tian's axe, the DPS was stable at 450W, and he laughed wildly, "Old Qin, the bracelet has been optimized plus sales have exploded, I feel like I can challenge thousands of people alone." Yi Ji's leather armor was sublimated, and the dodge lock was 100%, detection range is 80 yards, and the entire hidden cave is mapped. Gu Handun buzzed with a 20,000 shield, the iron wall is eternal, the Lord is mighty. Han Zhao's staff has an eternal green glow, 6 levels of buff, 99% team understanding. The village square exploded, and the individual people knelt down and licked, attribute 800. Growth is permanently plus 110%, our blue equipment is only 200, I am jealous. Ranking update, Qin Feng strategy master ranks first in the entire server, with peak reputation. But a shadow quietly appeared, and a player who looked like an assassin was sneaking around, whispering to the iron-blooded channel, "The target has been sold, the attributes are off the charts, and the coordinates are locked." Qin Feng's controller scanned the connection, and the red dot flashed, undercover. Yi Ji, counter-reconnaissance assassination, torture of the guild's movements. Yi Ji dagger. In the first turn, the SS dodge was activated, and the figure merged into the night. The poisonous blade passed through the back alley of the tavern. The undercover's health bar instantly emptied. The information on the dying panel exploded. The whole server of the Iron-Blooded Alliance has gathered, a group of thousands plus allied guilds, to suppress the wild outside. Goal, grab artifact fragments, blood-slaying oath to slaughter the list. The shouts of killing started again outside the cave, and Zwedikin led 100 elite men to charge in, his voice distorted, the artifact is ours. A sea of 100 DPS people will grab it and crush you. In the black mist, arrow rain came again. Yi Ji returned to the team, blood dripping from the dagger, eyes shining, old Qin, you are so accurate. The intelligence showed that the 5 alliances of the Iron-Blooded Alliance were ambushed in the wild with a total of 2,000, in the forest area outside the novice village. They also provided clues about the ultimate secret realm, and Shard 2 out of 5 opened a large-scale team copy. Qin Feng sneered and deduced with the controller. 3-dimensional sand table, upgrade to level 20 to warm up, practice tacit understanding in the normal team copy, ghost mine. The counterkill layout is locked, use the forest fog plus terrain rebound, DPSC change to self-destruct. The whole team's blood boiled, Tang Tian held the axe, fuck, 2000 siege. The 5 of us will explode. The first wave of ghost miners emerged from the cave, waving iron pickaxes and clanking bells, their faces twisted with blood reflected by the phosphorescent light, and the DPS pressure was 4000. In front of Gu Han, the 25,000 shield buzzed, the rebound locked the pickaxe attack, and the self-inflicted damage number jumped 6,000 by 10. The miners wailed and collapsed, the tank retaliated by 80%, we are so fragile and self-destructed. Tang Tian's axe soul chain predicted the path, critical hit 40,000 X chains, and the slag splashed and the mine trembled. Yi Ji stabbed the weak point in the back, armor-piercing pass plus 95%, Han Zhao's buff critical hit stacked 7 times, double the output of the whole team, tacit understanding. Qin Feng's long-range optimization, the bracelet mirror clones messed up the enemy, miners cut each other and the blood mist exploded, clearing the field in only 20 seconds. The experience gems are digested, the system is bathed in golden light, the whole team is awakened at level 20, the equipment is automatically strengthened by blue plus 3, and the total attributes exceed 1000. Passers-by outside the village screamed and worshipped, level 20 speed. Warm up the normal dungeon, get out of the individual alliance. Heading straight to the ghost mine, the dark wind howled at the entrance, the green flames of phosphorus fire drifted, the smell of rotten bones was pungent, and the normal team dungeon logo flashed, 20-man team recommended, boss blood 300,000. The passers-by formed a team with weak legs, 20 people, 5 people break in. Suicide. The elite ghost miner has 3000 DPS per target, and the mine collapses in seconds. The boss, Ghost Mine King, in the depths awakened, cracks spread after the giant pickaxe hit the ground, the Will-o'-the-Wisp's health bar was 350,000, and the roar was deafening, the pickaxe sweeps DPS 5000, and the phosphorus poison debuff stacks in the back row for seconds. Gu Han taunted and pulled, Tang Tianju's axe exploded the pickaxe core, 70,000 ending. Yi Ji stabbed the joints, fully opened the armor piercing, and Han Zhao's green light lock weak point critical hit plus 100%. Qin Feng controlled the field, predict 3 waves of pickaxe sweeps, rebound plus chain full explosion. The boss's health bar dropped wildly, the first wave self-destructed phosphorus fire for 100,000, the second wave of pickaxe shattered backfired for 150,000, the third wave focused fire eye cores for headshots, and the zombies exploded with blue equipment and rain. Perfect clearance, system announcement, perfect clearance, ghost mine. The 5 members of the Qin Feng team passed the 20-player version for the first time, with 100% tacit understanding, and were rewarded with a team treasure box. The second wave of collapse was triggered by the mechanism, rocks rolled down and roared, dust choked the lungs, and passers-by hugged their heads, collapse AoE means death, 20 people in the group all knelt down. Qin Feng deduced the dodge path, rotate the displacement, Gu Han rebounded and detonated the core. The shield wave spread, the rock backfired on itself, the cracking sound was like thunder, the damage was 12,000x range, and the mine was stable. His teammates gasped, and Tang Tian stared and trembled. Old Qin, at level 20, I'm like a novice, but my DPS breaks 5 million? The bracelet optimization is incredible. Gu Handun was intact, the shield is full of health, and the mine feels like a playground. Teammates roared and hugged each other, and Yi Ji burst into tears. Old Qin, the ordinary version is killing us, but behind the cave we are invincible. 2,000 Iron Bloods. What a joke. Gu Han knelt down and said, Lord, the Mine King's pickaxe is like a toy. Han Shao was surrounded by green light, eternal buff, attribute 1100. A passerby knelt and licked, 5-person perfect version. DPS is overwhelming, and the strategy master sweeps the entire server. The mist in the forest was like a ghost, so thick that it couldn't be dissolved. It was mixed with the rusty smell of blood and scorched earth, and the fallen leaves made a muffled sound when they were stepped on underfoot. Xuetu held the blood flag high, the scars on his face twisted into a sinister smile. 2,000 coalition forces behind him surged like a tide. The shield array buzzed and locked, and the bowstring hummed and hummed. The mage fired fireballs and breathed red light. The total DPS of 100,000 made the air distorted, 5 scum of Sanren. Artifact fragments February 5th, I have joined forces with the 5 iron-blooded alliances, the average equipment is purple +1, and the total output will crush you. Our health bars. The forest area outside the novice village, the bone burial ground. 100 elite forwards have arrived, the war horses roared and trampled the soil, the axe light flashed and locked on the Qin Feng team, and the passers-by screamed, 2,000 coalition forces. Gu Han moved his shield horizontally, 25,000 shields pulsating with blue light, but 2,000 were torn apart by the first wave of arrows. His health bar swayed slightly, and beads of sweat rolled down his forehead. Old Qin, the forward 100-man shield formation is made of iron. Taunting can't hold the whole group back. I'll explode in 5 seconds after spreading hatred. Tang, the knuckles of the sky axe turned white when I tried to cut down the side shield soldiers. The axe blade was stuck, the formation rebounded by 20%. My DPS card is 450W. The flanks can't be broken. 2,000 backups will crush us into meat patties. Yi Ji's figure shook slightly, and an arrow grazed the skin. The armor tore with a crisp sound, and although the dodge was 100%, it was suppressed and breathless. Scout seals the fog road, cutting the back row. The archer focuses fire to predict my path, and the roaming space is suppressed by 60%. Han Shao barely gushes out green light, and barely maintains the buff level 7, with trembling hands. The debuff mist poison stacks 3 times, and the whole team's resistance is reduced by 40%. I can't help but kill instantly in the back row. Despair is like the roar of the forest wind, and passers-by watch from a distance and their legs are weak and trembling. It's useless to have 100% tacit understanding of the divine team. 2,000 DPS in the sea, and the perfect butcher turns into a pile of corpses. Qin Feng's eyes were as sharp as a blade, the controller connection buzzed and exploded, and the holographic sand table was unfolded 3-dimensionally. The fog flow in the forest area, the uneven terrain, and the enemy's weaknesses were all revealed. The forward 100 people, the shield mage clusters are easy to backfire, the blood massacre, the coordinates are exposed and the horse's armor is broken, the backup, the fog delays the attack speed by 20%. He raised the corner of his mouth slightly, injected the blue and purple ripples of the void bracelet in his left hand into his teammates, and deduced in real time with the right handle, borrowing the fog to eat it. Gu Han, taunting and locking the forward shield heart, rebounding to pull the blood massacre coordinates, Tang Tian blasting the center of the shield formation at a fixed point, chain clearing bow wings. Yi Ji, ghost shadow wandering and cutting the mage's back row, armor-piercing pass fully activated. Han Shao, resonance buff fog transformation resistance plus 120%, crit range expands to the entire fog. The mirror clone confuses the forward for 30 seconds, the bracelet unlocks the sandbox pre-blast, and the terrain rock blast assists. The teammates panels all flashed, and the attribute skyrocketed. Tang Tian's DPS lock was 600W, Yi Ji's dodge was 102%, Gu Han's shield increased to 30,000, and Han Zhao's buff was 8 levels eternal. The forest area outside the village suddenly mutated, and the shouts of killing shook the sky. The blood massacre rate was 2,000 coalition troops outflanking, arrows and fireballs were like locusts, and the blood flag hunted, artifact fragments. The total DPS is 100,000, crushing the novice village. Qin Feng's sandbox flashed on the handle, and the anti-kill formation was in place, and sneered, "Here it comes." Gu Han roared loudly, and the ripples of the shield wave spread like thunder. The taunt locked on the shield heart, and the rebound wave exploded the blood mist. The first wave of arrows gathered around the mages, the fireballs collided with each other, roared and exploded, and the range burned 8,000 by 25. There were screams, tanks taunted and rebounded. All the shield mages exploded, and the DPS came back to bite us. The blood-killing war horse was shot, and the leg bones cracked with a crisp sound, and it fell into the mud. Immediately after 15,000 death penetration, he stood up with a livid face and trembled, weakness of the horse. Pre-explosion on the sand table. Isolated man's bracelet is black, the attribute is over 1,200. Tang Tian's axe spirit soared to the sky, fixed point center ultimate move chain, crit 35,000 X shield chain, and 70,000 clear bow wings were all empty, corpses lay on the bloody road, the bloody wind hit his face, the bow string broke and made noise, the axe blade tore the flesh and groaned endlessly. Yi Ji's translucent ghost rushed into the back row, and the dagger passed through the mage's throat, armor-breaking transmission plus 98%, the mage's health bar spurted out blood instantly and fell to the ground, wandering cut S+++, dodge in the fog, the back row will kneel down in seconds. She stabbed and shouted, "Old Qin, you are so accurate." The fog turns to buff, and I feel like there is nothing in the back row. Han Zhao's green tide surged like a forest sea, resonating with the buff. The fog reversed, the enemy's attack speed debuff was stacked and slowed down by 60%, and the team's critical hits doubled, 8 layers of buffs, tacit understanding is beyond the limit, Qin Feng, this controller, you can predict the future. Qin Feng's figure flashed into the center of the fog, the mirror image of his bracelet danced wildly, the forward slashed the air and killed each other, the DPS self-destructed 40 people, and the rock explosion assisted the terrain to shatter and roar, burying the remaining enemies. The canthus of Xuetu's eyes was about to burst. He led Ten Jingwei to break out. He swung his blood axe and locked Qin Feng, "I'll snatch the fragments of the artifact with my own hands." But Qin Feng sneered. The handle was connected to the limit to optimize itself, and its attributes soared to 1,500. The void mirror of the bracelet was superimposed. He bullied him in an instant. The short blade of his right hand pierced Xuetu's heart like electricity. His prediction armor was fully activated, and the number jumped, instant death penetration 25,000. Xuetu's eyes widened, blood spurted from his mouth, and his voice trembled as he died, personally output S++. Controller wizard. 2,000 of US, were all wiped out. The corpse explosion loot was showered with golden light, purple wolf leggings, alliance experienced gem stacks, and guild tokens shattered. It only took 45 seconds for the forward group of 100 people to be wiped out. Thousands of backup troops witnessed it. Their footsteps froze, and the shield array collapsed and hummed intermittently, President kill instantly. The DPSC exploded 60 people, rebound plus cutting plus mirror image, no solution, Qin Feng and 5 people tortured 2,000 people. Passers-by Sanren knelt down from a distance, his eyes widened and he screamed with trembling, the sand table of the handle is pre-exploded, and Lin Wu has transformed into a divine realm. The attribute sea is inundated, the forwards of the 5 iron-blooded alliances are flying in ashes, and the Sanren God team is sweeping across the entire server. Blood drops dripped from Tang Tian's axe, and he turned around and hugged Qin Feng's shoulders and roared. "Brother, 100 people in 45 seconds. Your layout allowed me to break 6 million DPS, and I feel like 1,000 people are like pigs and dogs." Yi Zhidao collected the blood, his eyes glinting with admiration and tears. "Old Qin, from the undercover stabbing to the cutting tonight, you are always accurate. You are the soul." Gu Han's shield was intact and he knelt down and kowtowed. "My lord, the shield is full of blood, and the rebound locks the whole place, and the iron blood is rolling." Han Xiao was surrounded by green light, gasping and laughing. "The buff is transformed into fog poison, and we are invincible." System gold coins rained down, massive experience surged, the whole team was bathed in golden light and upgraded to level 25, equipment was automatically strengthened by purple +1, and the total attributes exceeded 1,500. Tang Tian's DPS lock is 8 million, Yi Zhi's dodge is 105%, Gu Han's shield is 40,000, and Han Zhao's buff is 9 levels. The support coalition collapsed and the rats ran away, the blood flag fell to the ground and was trampled to pieces. The guild channel wailed, "The forwards are destroyed, the president's body explodes. The controller wizard Qin Feng, the strategy master kills the god." The whole server chat exploded. "Emergency, 5 Qin Feng counterattack to kill the iron-blooded 100 spirits." The forest area self-destructed the DPSC, and the president personally seconds 25,000, reaching level 25 quickly. The rise of the individual, the guild is licking it. Ranking update, Qin Feng's handle is exclusive to all servers, and the reputation of the individual is overwhelming. Purple equipment has 150,000 attributes. We are jealous and invincible. Qin Feng inspected the loot calmly, the purple wolf leggings were accounted for, the experience gems piled up, 3/5 of the map fragments faintly pulsated, and clues to the ultimate secret realm emerged. But suddenly, the handle connection buzzed and overheated, and a flashing red light popped up. The handle is overloaded with energy, and the hidden function, Black Branch Hidden Cave, is about to be upgraded. It requires the energy trigger of the large-scale team copy, Netherworld Abyss to unlock the ultimate mechanism of the whole server. Warning, insufficient energy, forcibly triggering risks collapse. His eyes narrowed slightly, and he grasped the handle and the heat wave heated his hands. Large copy. The iron-blooded remnants will take revenge, and the 5 alliances will join forces. Tang Tian noticed, patted him on the back and whispered, "Old Qin, the handle has changed. Brother, support you, we will attack the abyss in the next battle." Teammates gathered around, their eyes were firm, and the new bond was like a blazing forest fire. In the face of the hidden crisis, the 5 of them were united and united. "Old Qin, this layout, 2,000 people will become a self-destruct trap." Tang Tian's eyes widened, the red light of the axe soul warmed up, and his voice was trembling with blood. "My dear friend, you always fucking overpower me, but this time I believe you, I will destroy them." Qin Feng patted him on the shoulder, his eyes were as firm as iron. "Brother Tian, remember when you asked me to form a team on the opening night of the server? Tonight, the 5 of us will prove that the Sanren Alliance is gone. Go." Tang Tian laughed wildly and agreed. The bond between brothers was like a torch in the fog, and the tacit understanding within the team was instantly locked to 101%. The fog in the forest gradually thinned, and the smell of blood faded away like the ebbing tide, leaving only the pungent aftertaste of scorched earth and the intermittent sound of blood bubbles bursting in the mud. The shadows of the trees in the distance swayed, and the setting sun fell like blood, staining the broken axes and broken shields scattered on the ground red. The pile of corpses of the iron-blooded alliance was still twitching slightly, and the experienced light spots jingled and drifted like fireflies, converging into the 5 people's health bars and slowly filling them up. Qin Feng put away the short blade, and the blood beads on the blade slipped and made a slight hissing sound. He took a deep breath of fresh foggy air, and his eyes swept over the tired but excited faces of his teammates. The handle was slightly hot in the palm of his hand, and the red light pulsed as fast as his heartbeat. Tang Tian sat down on the broken wood, with the giant axe across his knees. The remaining blood on the axe blade was steaming hot. He wiped away the sweat and said in a hoarse and breathless voice, "Old Qin, 100 people were slaughtered in 45 seconds. The forwards exploded into fireworks, and the backup troops were scared to death. But fuck, the backlash of these 2000 DPSCs made my bones shake. My DPS is locked at 800W, and the axe spirit is still buzzing and overheating, brother. Are our health bars full?" He lowered his head to check the panel. The golden light of the purple +1 Wolf Fong axe flashed, and the total attribute reached 1650, but he frowned and shook his head. The guilds and the whole server are still in a strange mood. The channel is saying that we are lucky, the iron-blooded remnants will retaliate, and the controller is overheated and there is a risk of explosion. Let's fix it. The next wave of 5 alliances will be mobilized. We, the 5 scum, can't stand it. Yi Ji leaned against the tree and panted, spinning the dagger to wipe away the blood. There was a dull pain in the torn part of the leather armor. She dodged 105% of the ghosts and still had ghost shadows. Her agility attribute jumped wildly, but she couldn't suppress her heart palpitations. Old Qin, cutting the back row S+++ was a blast, but the undercover black robe sent a message. I missed it. The goods escaped in the fog. At least 500 elite members of the Iron Blood plus Mad Wolf remnants were lurking, and the red dots on the map flashed. The outside of Novice Village is blocked. After the fog poison debuff, my resistance is reduced by 20%, and the roaming space is compressed. Her voice trembled, and her eyes glanced at the pile of corpses. The passing individual players were watching from a distance, their eyes widened and they whispered, "Qin Feng Shen team slaughtered 2,000 people, and our blue +0 only has 300 attributes. We are jealous. But the guild revenge wave is useless." Gu Han's shield buzzed to cool down, and the blue light pulse of the 40,000 shield weakened. He knelt down and gasped for breath. The armor was covered with arrow marks and jingled. Lord, the rebound lock was withstood without damage, but the taunting hatred was scattered. Within 5 seconds, the DPS was huge. The amount of the shield is 100,000, and my bone break debuff has been stacked twice. It will take half an hour to repair the shield. The jagged guild channel is blasting, black cheats on the handle, and the account is banned. The 5 of us are alone, and we are in danger. Han Zhao's green light surrounded the staff, and her hands trembled as she spilled out the last layer of buff. The 9-layer eternal halo barely maintained. Her face was pale, and she frowned, smelling the smell of burnt meat remaining in the air. Qin Feng, the resonance reverses the fog poison resistance plus 120% to hold on, but the energy pool dries up, the milk volume drops by 50%, and the team's fatigue debuff suppresses the critical hit by -30%. We are ranked in the top 50 in the whole server, and the top 10 in the guild join forces. The next battle, despair. Despair is howling like forest wind, teammates' eyes are dim, fatigue red bars on the panel are crawling slowly, and the whispers of passers-by in the distance are like pinpricks. The tacit understanding of the god team is 101%, even if you kill 2,000 people, you will kneel down. Overheating warning for the handle, the Netherworld Abyss energy trigger failed, the Iron-Blooded Alliance assembles, the doomsday of the Sanren. Qin Feng raised the corners of his mouth slightly, ignoring the commotion. He sat cross-legged next, the controller connection buzzed and exploded, red light spread like blood, the holographic sand table unfolded again, the energy of the corpses in the forest gathered, and the golden light of the loot poured out. The purple wolf leggings flashed with wolf soul fangs. The Alliance experienced gems stacked like a mountain and jingled and rolled down, the guild token shattered and black smoke curled up, and the map fragment March 5th pulsated blue light revealed the outline of the ultimate secret realm. Repair, improve. Qin Feng's voice was as calm as the abyss. the overheated red light of the handle suddenly condensed, the hidden function, Black Qin Hidden Cave, was forcibly triggered, the forest energy surged into it, and the humming vibration spread through the palm of his hand as hot as a soldering iron. The entire team's panels flashed together, blue and purple ripples of connection wrapped around everyone like tentacles, and the hidden potential exploded. Tang Tian's DPS hidden attribute, Crazy Bloodline, Awakening Lock 1000W, Yi Ji's Dodge Ghost Shadow stacking 108%, Gu Han's Shield and Iron Wall Fusion 50,000, Han Zhao's buff 10 layers of Eternal Resonance. The team attribute sharing mode is unlocked, the total of the team soars by 150%, Qin Feng Bracelet Void Mirror plus Sand Table Pre-Explosion is permanently strengthened, and the total attribute lock is 2200. The smoke cleared from the forest area, the ghosts of the remaining troops of the 5 alliances retreated in the distance, and the shouts of killing turned into howls of the wind. But in the shadows, a black-robed player whispered in the video, "The handle has overheated and reported the coordinates of the netherworld abyss. The General Alliance has assembled a large-scale encirclement and suppression." Qin Feng scanned the handle and the red dot flashed, and Yi Ji turned his dagger, "Old Qin, undercover again." Stabbed. The night was dark, the aftermath of the counterattack had not yet dissipated, and the big crisis was quietly approaching. Yi Ji twirled her dagger, 3 ghost clones overlapped, and the dodge was 108%. The ghost danced, and she knelt down with tears in her eyes. "Old Qin, hidden potential connection, wandering like a ghost realm, share your sand table prediction, I predict the path S++++. Undercover in black robe. Kill instantly with 1 stab." Gu Han's shield buzzed and upgraded, and a blue wave of 50,000 shields surged. The rebound rate soared to 90%, and he hit the ground with his iron knee. "My lord is mighty." Sharing the iron wall, the whole team is not injured, mocking the sea of thousands of people, and thanking Haika. Han Zhao's green wave exploded like a tsunami, and the 10-layer buff was locked forever. She gasped, laughed and cried, "Resonance sharing, double the milk volume and unlimited battery life, Qin Feng, you are connected, predict the whole server." Tang Tian's eyes widened, and the axe soul's red glow skyrocketed. He stood up suddenly, his voice trembling and blood gushing out, "Old Qin. This DPS breaks 1000W. The hidden bloodline is awakened, and the axe blade feels like it can split mountains. In sharing mode, my crit will be transmitted to you to output S+++. You fucking handle is awesome." He tried to chop the air, the axe roared and tore the tree trunk with a dull sound, the wood chips flew and smelled the fresh rosin, his eyes turned red and he hugged Qin Feng and shouted, "Brothers, we will be invincible tonight, guild get out." Qin Feng distributed the spoils with a smile, injected the purple wolf leggings into Tang Tian's leg armor, locked the wolf soul roar DPS for another 12 million, swallowed all the experience gems, locked level 28 in massive levels, and flashed purple plus 2 gold edges on equipment. 3/5 of the map fragments merged, the coordinates of the Shadow Fortress emerged, and the entrance to the hidden cave pulsated. Repair completed, Shadow Fortress 2-0 people in the large version, the first kill to trigger the handle is the ultimate. In the shared mode, the iron-blooded remnant is tortured. The teammates' eyes are like torches, the brothers are locked in iron-blooded bonds, the tacit understanding is 110%, the forest area is temporarily quiet like a breath before the storm, the fire in the novice village is far away, the sweetness of victory and the faint smell of crisis are in the air. Passers-by gathered around, their eyes widened, their legs trembled, and they screamed, "Look! Qin Feng's controller is upgraded, and the team shares 150% of the attributes. DPS 1000W. Shield 50,000. The individual god's team purple +1 automatically strengthens, the blue suits are so jealous that they vomit blood." The whole server chat exploded, shocking, Qin Feng's black column hidden cave is unlocked, the total of 5 people at level 25 is 2,200, and after killing 2,000 people, he went straight to the top 10. Tang Tian slapped his chest and laughed wildly, "Old Qin, the king of the fortress boss, the legendary set explosion rate is 0.1%, we share the sweep. Yiji's ghost shadow warmed up, I will open the reconnaissance route, and the mechanism cracking is accurate. Gu Han raised the shield, break the door to hurt. Han Xiao surrounded by green light, infinite battery life. Qin Feng nodded, the coolness of the controller returned, and the sand table previewed the 4 mechanisms of the fortress: Shadow Gate Trap, Elite Tide, Energy Wall, and Fortress King's Fury. The picture unfolds three-dimensionally, and victory is within grasp. Shadows moved at the edge of the forest, and 500 elite players in black robes appeared. The blood-slaughtering deputy roared, his face twisted and grinning, the shield array behind him buzzed and locked, and the bowstring was full of red light. Qin Feng. On the eve of the national war, the 10 alliances joined forces to crush you and share the black science. We occupy the entrance to the fortress, and there is a sea of 20,000 DPS. Kneel down or explode. The first wave of arrow rain roared to tear the air, the ground cracked and roared, the crisis surged like a tide, and the tranquility was shattered instantly. Tang Tian raised his axe and roared, Old Qin, come again. Sharing the explosion. Qin Feng's eyes were as sharp as a blade, the handle buzzed and heated up again, and the sand table was spread out. The enemy was weak, sharing mode, reversal was about to happen. The rain of arrows was like a black swarm of locusts, tearing through the remaining mist in the forest with a sharp hiss. The red light on the iron ingot arrows breathed out poisonous fire, instantly engulfing the scorched earth at the edge of the forest area. Every arrow hit the ground, exploding a blood-red fire pit. The mud was steaming and pungent with the smell of sulfur. The heat wave hit the face and distorted the air. 500 elite black-robed shield arrays buzzed forward, the iron-blooded totems on the shields pulsated with blood, the DPS lock was fully activated, the sound of strings pulled by the archers was like the chirping of thousands of insects, the blood-slaughter deputy's face was twisted and grinned, and the hoarse roar echoed Lin Hai, Qin Feng. Sharing of the black technology of the handle. Before the 20,000 people from the 10 alliances press the border, let you taste the explosion of corpses first. We will seal the entrance to the fortress, and you are pre-selected for the national war, get out. Tang Tian raised his giant axe violently, and the axe soul flashed red, but was forced back 3 steps by the first wave of arrows. The shoulder armor clanked and shattered, sparks flew everywhere. He gritted his teeth and roared, with a rare tremor in his voice, Old Qin. The total DPS of this arrow rain is 150,000, the poison fire debuff is superimposed, the shared mode shield is not fully activated, and my DPS 1200W is locked. The surge is unstoppable. The average attribute of the 500 elites is 1200, and the backup red dots are flashing thousands. We have just completed repairs, and the energy pool is still recharging. He tried to chop and attack, but the axe whizzed but only shredded 10 arrows. The remaining arrows passed by and burned the flesh, and the smell of burning ran through his nose. His face was pale and his legs were soft and he knelt down. His fighting blood was faintly throbbing but he could not suppress his heart palpitations. Yiji's ghost clone dodged sharply, with 108% dodge. The shadow danced like smoke, and the dagger rotated to cut through the arrow rain, but it pierced most of the air. Her leather armor was torn in many places and bloodshot oozed out, and her breathing was as fast as a bellows, Old Qin. The black-robed undercover agent's information was wrong. These 500 are not remnants, but a mixture of iron-blooded and shadowblade elites. The taunt chain is locked to the shared frequency interference, and the blue light of the handle connection is flickering. My wandering space is compressed. 50%, the prediction sandbox is blurry. She glanced at her teammates in panic. The passers-by in the distance had already scattered. The onlookers from a distance were wide-eyed but whispered like ghosts, the Qin Feng team is finished. The sea of 500 elite DPS, the overheating warning of shared black science is red, the national war announcement iron-blooded alliance has 20,000 people locked up, we blue-clad 300 attribute members should stay away, jealousy turns to despair. Gu Han raised his shield fiercely, and the blue wave of 50,000 shields rebounded by 90%. The jingling sound exploded into a rain of arrows and sparks. The arrow marks on the armor were densely covered like honeycombs. His iron knees made an earthquake sound, but he was pushed back 5 meters by the subsequent wave. The bone-cracking debuff stacked 3 layers and clicked, and beads of sweat mixed together. Blood dripped down his face, and his voice was rough and painful. Master, the fusion of the iron wall cannot withstand it, and the hatred is scattered throughout the field. The DPS backfires 80,000 shields per second, and the sheer damage-free loss is 20%. The half-hour repair of the shield is now interrupted. It will be a waste for the 5 of us to stand against a sea of thousands of people. Strength, not to mention 500 plus backup. Han Zhao's green light staff trembled and spread buffs. The 10th level of Eternal Resonance was barely maintained, but the energy pool plummeted, the milk volume doubled and the unlimited battery life was stuck. Her face was as pale as paper, and she retched at the smell of poisonous fire and burnt meat brought by the arrow rain. Qin Feng, resonance prediction has failed, the fatigue debuff resurgence critical hit -40%, the whole team's health bar has dropped wildly, and I can't hold down the buff layers. The Iron Blood channel has been flooded with the words, Black Science Bans, National Wars crushing scattered people, we are desperate. The air in the forest area is as stagnant as lead clouds, and the distant flames of Novice Village are swaying but isolated like a moat. The whole server chat is filled with red text, panic, Team Qin Feng is trapped in a sea of 500 elite arrows. Shared mode collapse. The iron-blooded deputy is leading the bloody massacre, 20,000 coalition troops are pressing the border for the national war preliminaries, the doomsday of Sanren. The fortress is blocked, the gods are kneeling. The Sanren passers-by screamed with weak legs, and someone broadcast live from a distance board, look. Qin Feng has a total of 2,200, sharing 150%, and the red blood is full of crisis. Tang Tian's DPS drops to 9 million, Yiji dodges the ghost and shatters. The Guild Alliance's total DPS is 500,000, our worship turns into crying. The crisis surges like a tide, the tranquility is shattered into despair, the eyes of teammates are dim, the red bars on the panel are crawling, and the death countdown buzzes in the ears. Qin Feng's eyes were as bright as the abyss, and he ignored the roar of arrows and the heat waves wiping his face. He crossed his legs and refused to retreat. The palm of the handle was as hot as lava, and the red light exploded in his veins. The connection between the hidden caves forced a buzzing vibration that spread throughout his meridians. Optimization. The word calm fell to the ground like thunder, the holographic sand table unfolded wildly, the energy of the corpses in the forest plus the golden light of the loot poured in, the purple wolf leggings fragments merged with the prototype of the legendary wolf soul suit, the jingle system prompt sounded, Hycelian hidden cave legend optimization triggered. Team equipment automatically has purple plus 3 legendary edge, and the total value increases by 80% and is permanently locked. Qin Feng void bracelet image plus sandbox pre-explosion S++++, total attribute lock 3800. Sharing mode upgraded by 200%. The blue and purple ripples are like giant wave tentacles that wrap around the whole team, and the hidden potential explodes for the second time. Tang Tian's eyes widened, the legendary wolf tooth axe plus purple wolf leggings merged with the gold edge and grinned ferociously, the DPS locked 18 million, the mad battle bloodline awakened to the second level, he jumped up with the red light of the axe soul tearing into the sky, his voice trembled and his blood collapsed, old Qin. The legendary set has increased by 80%, and the DPS has exceeded 18 million. A total of 18 million. Enjoy 200%, my group damage axe blasts US+++++. The handle is black, it's incredible. He tried to chop the air, the axe roared like a tornado and exploded with hundreds of arrows, sparks of sawdust flying, rosin mixed with sulfur, his eyes were red and bloodshot, and he hugged Qin Feng and yelled, "Brother, we will destroy the whole server in the national war." Yiji's daggers rotated and ghosted in 4 overlays, and her dodge rate reached 150%. The shadows were like ghosts. She knelt down with tears flashing wildly. Old Qin, the legendary optimization shared sandbox, my predicted path is S+++++++, 500 in black robe. Ghosts are crispy in seconds. Gu Hondun buzzed and upgraded his shield to 80,000, with a rebound rate of 100%. Invincible, his iron fist smashed into the ground and cracked, my lord's power. Shared with no damage, full use, taunting to lock thousands of people without pressure. Han Shao Green Tide Tsunami's 10-level buff upgraded to eternal immortality, triple the amount of milk. She laughed and burst into tears, the resonance increased by 80%, predicting the battle situation of the whole server. Qin Feng, you are so optimized, the legend takes off. But suddenly, the server-wide system bells rang like thunder, and a golden announcement swept across the field of vision. Server-wide emergency announcement, the national war competition has begun. The top 10 guild alliances signed up, and the Iron Blood Alliance summoned the remaining 20,000 elite members of the 10 alliances including Mad Wolf plus Shadow Blade, targeting Qin Feng's handler genius. The entrance to the Shadow Fortress has been sealed, and the total DPS of the General Alliance is overwhelming 500,000, and the scattered people are doomed. Qin Feng stood up with a smile, the coolness of the controller returned, and he previewed 500 weaknesses on the sand table, 10% flaw in the shield formation, hatred scattering from the archer, and undercover in black robes hiding behind. The short blade flashed and he instantly hit S+++. The light of the blade penetrated the shield of Xue Tu's deputy like electricity. 25,000 death hearts spurted blood. He froze with a grin and black smoke exploded. Share, abuse. The team's tacit understanding increased by 120%, Tang Tianak's DPS swept through the sea of thousands of people, Yiji's ghost cut the crispy back row, Gu Han taunted and locked the shield push, Han Zhao's buff lasted forever, the blood bubbles in the pile of 500 elite corpses burst and jingle experience points were merged, and the upgrade was locked to level 30. The deputy of the blood slaughter stared at death and roared, 20,000 coalition troops, the national war is waiting for you. The spoils poured in, Shadow Blade tokens, map fragments April 5th, and stacks of legendary wolf soul fragments. The forest area was bloody again, and the setting sun dyed the sea of corpses red. Qin Feng withdrew his sword, National War Preliminaries, sign up. The Handle Connection System announced the Golden Sweep, Qin Feng Shen team signs up for the National War Preliminaries. The 5 Sanren have a total of 3,800, and the Iron-Blooded Alliance is furious. His teammates admired the torch with their eyes, and Tang Tian patted his chest, Old Qin, pre-select the small guild, and train to simulate the tactics of the 10 Alliance. Yiji's ghost shadow warmed up, I will collect the information, scan all channels of the black-robed remnant party, and lock the weaknesses of the opponent's DPS array. Gu Han raised his shield, withstand the sea of alliances. Han Zhao's green light surrounded him, the endurance simulation is unlimited. Passers-by gathered around and worshipped with their legs soft and screamed, shocking. The optimization of Qin Feng's legend increased by 80%, and the total stat of 3,800 was shared by 200%. DPS 1800W. Shield 80,000. The individual blue equipment cried and fainted, we were jealous and licked it. The whole server chat reversed the situation and exploded, heaven-defying, Qin Feng's Black Science legendary set is unlocked, and 500 elites are slaughtered to warm up the national war. The Iron-Blooded Alliance is dumbfounded. The bell of the arena roared, and the leader of the Wind Wolf gang charged into the battle with a ferocious smile, Sanren Qin Feng. 50 DPS flooded for you to share. The arrows and shields buzzed, but they hit Gu Han head-on. The 80,000 shield rebounded and sparks flew. The Wind Wolf tank stared and its legs weakened, shield. 80,000. The rebound is 100%, our shield is shattered. Tang Tian axe exploded and injured 18 million red light like a sea of blood, engulfing the back row. The crispy blood bars sprayed blood and corpses exploded in the air, and the president trembled and roared, "How can the DPS break 1800W? Legendary set. Share 200%, our blue equipment has 800 attributes." Yiji's ghost shadow walks around and cuts in the fourth layer, dodges 150% without damage and locks the core in seconds. Teleporting to the novice village arena, the air was full of sweat and shouts of excitement. The first round of the qualifiers began, against 50 people from the small guild Wind Wolf Gang, with an average level 25 blue plus 1 attribute of 800. After being crushed in the sand table preview, Qin Feng calmly commanded, "Sharing is on, the strategy is locked." Tang Tian strengthened the third level of group damage Axe Soul, and the DPS test explosion on the edge of the arena shattered the stone pillars with a muffled sound and filled the air with dust. He laughed wildly, the group damage increased by 80%, one axe is 50 seconds fragile. Yiji's intelligence report, the total DPS of the Wind Wolf is 50,000, the shield is weak and the taunt is scattered, the prediction is S++++. The arena burst into cheers, teammates hugged each other passionately, and Tang Tian roared, "Old Qin, invincible at level 35, will beat the guild in the next round." Yiji's intelligence added, "On the sidelines of the Iron-Blooded Alliance pre-selection, the channel Yin and Yang is lucky little guild, the 10 alliances will join forces in the next round. But suddenly, the red light of the teleport point flashed as an alarm, and the system bell rang. The smell of blood hit his nostrils again. Iron-Blooded Alliance, the Blood 10 Alliance appeared, and the Blood Slaughter remnants plus the elite 1,000-man Berserker army shield formation locked onto the teleportation vortex. Vice President Zhao distorted his face and roared, "Qin Feng. Ambush before the game, intercept your team. 20,000 backups are coming, and the dream of national war preliminaries is shattered." The second wave of arrows roared through the sky, the ground cracked and roared, the crisis pressed like black clouds, and the preliminary victory instantly turned into the abyss of despair. Qin Feng's handle buzzed, the bracelet mirror unfolded, and the sandbox preview ambush vulnerability was about to be triggered. At the edge of the teleportation vortex, the bloody stench of the Wind Wolf corpse explosion still remains on the stone bricks of the arena. The iron-blooded deputy commander's roar bursts into the air like thunder. The shield formation of 1,000-man army hums and advances. The black iron-blooded totem pulses with red light. The DPS lock frequency is piercing and screaming. The sound of strings pulled by the archers at the back was like the wails of thousands of ghosts. The second wave of arrow rain roared through the night sky, each iron ingot arrow swallowed poisonous green flames, and exploded into corroded holes when it hit the ground. The sour smell of rotting meat was sour in the soil, and the heat wave distorted the vision and made people breathless. The iron-blooded Vice President Zhao's face was twisted like a ghost, his scars were squirming, and a sinister smile echoed, "Qin Feng. Are you lucky enough to massacre a small guild in the pre-selection? 1,000-man army with a total of 800,000 DPS is overwhelming, and 20,000 coalition backup red dots are flashing to seal off the entire competition area. Shared black technology overheats and explodes the machine, and the national war dream is shattered into corpses. The mad wolves in the back row mixed the elite blood massacre remnants, and the taunting chain buzzed to lock the entire audience. The energy pool was full of green bars and skyrocketed. The scattered passers-by in the distance had already lost their souls. Rats were scurrying around, their legs were weak, and they were screaming like a beehive collapsing, an army of thousands of iron-blooded soldiers. DPS 800,000. The level 35 Qin Feng Shen team with 4,500 total attributes can't withstand it. They share a 200% red blood crisis. There is no hope for the top 8 preliminaries. We, with blue equipment and 300 attributes, hide in the novice village and cry. Tang Tian raised his giant axe fiercely, and the red light of the wolf's soul exploded, but he was forced back 7 steps by the first wave of arrows. His shoulder armor shattered and sparks spattered mixed blood foam. He gritted his teeth and roared in a trembling voice, "Old Qin, the average attribute of this 1,000-man army is 1,400. The shield array fusion DPS backlash is 120,000 per second. The elite wolf taunt chain interferes with the shared frequency. The controller is connected. The line of blue light flashed wildly and erratically. My DPS 1800W lock could not suppress the surge, and the energy pool recharged out of gear. The axe wind roared and tore into 30 poisonous arrows. The remaining arrows grazed his arm and burned the skin and opened the flesh. The smell of burning went straight into his nose. His face turned pale and his knees softened and he almost knelt down. The second level of the crazy fighting bloodline was faintly throbbing, but he could not suppress the chill in his heart. Yiji's ghost clone dodged sharply, evading 150%. The shadow danced like a sea of mist. The dagger rotated and cut through the arrow rain, but it pierced most of the air. Her leather armor tore and blood spurted wildly, and her breathing was as rapid as a bellows. Old Qin. The intelligence misjudgment was serious. The iron-blooded vice president summoned the back row to massacre hundreds of undercovers. The ambush sandbox prediction was compressed by 70%. The path of the ghost shadow was blurred. I wandered empty. There is only 30% time left, and the backup of 20,000 red dots is locked for the whole server. His eyes glanced at his teammates in panic, and the people in the arena auditorium were wide-eyed but full of despair and whispered like ghosts, Qin Feng is finished. The army of thousands of people pushed the shield plus the sea of arrows. The shared mode collapsed. Warning, the national war announced that the iron-blooded 10 alliance will crush the scattered people. Worship turns to panic. We are jealous and vomit blood and stay away. Gu Han's shield was raised with iron, and the 80,000 shield blue wave surged and rebounded by 95%. The jingling explosion exploded and arrows rained and sparks flew. The iron armor was covered with arrow marks like spider webs. His iron knee hit the ground with a roar, but was pushed back 10 meters by the back wave. The bone crack debuff stacked 5 times. There was a crisp sound, sweat and blood flowed down the iron face. His voice was rough and painful. Master, the iron wall is invincible, the hatred dispersion is fully activated, the DPS backfires 150,000 shields per second, the shared non-injury failure is 30%, a sea of 1,000 people plus 2,000 of backups. The 5 of us have just finished repairing the energy outage, and we are in the abyss of despair. Han Zhao's green light staff trembled and spread the buff. The 12 layers of eternal immortality were barely maintained, but the milk volume plummeted. The fatigue debuff returned and critical hit -50%, her face was as pale as a ghost vomiting and rancid with poisonous fire. Qin Feng, the resonance prediction has failed, the health bar has dropped wildly and cannot be suppressed, the debuffs of the whole team have exploded, and the iron blood channel has been flooded with the words, Black Science Band, pre-selected to kill the gods, we are dead. The crisis is like a black cloud. The air in the arena is stagnant and sulfurous poisonous flames are choking the nose. The torches of the novice village in the distance are swaying and isolating the sky, and the whole server chat is scrolling with red text, despair. The Qin Fengshan team is ambushed by a 1,000-man army. DPS 800,000 arrows. The iron-blooded Vice President Zhao Qin leads a 20,000-strong coalition. The pre-selection dream of shared collapse is shattered, and Sanren passers-by are doomed. Live broadcast by Sanren passerby. The panel trembled. Look. Qin Feng's total 4,500 members share 200% red blood. Tang Tian's DPS dropped 15 million, Yiji's ghost shattered. The Guild Alliance's total DPS is 1 million, it's a joke for us to cry and worship. The death countdown buzzed in the ears, the eyes of teammates were dull, red bars crept across the panel, and the tranquility was shattered into despair. Qin Feng's eyes were fixed in the abyss, ignoring the rain of arrows wiping his face and the heat waves burning his skin. He crossed his legs and refused to retreat. The palm of the handle was as hot as lava and the red veins were flashing. The hidden cave connection was forced to buzz and shake through the meridians. The sand table preview in my mind is spinning at high speed, and the psychological game is intertwined like lightning. after the iron-blooded vice president summons the hideout, only 8% of the shield formation's flaws are at the left-wing wolf elite seam, the archer's hatred scattering frequency is 0.7 seconds, the blood massacre remnant's undercover DPS peaks at 1.8 million per minute, but the energy pool weakness is 25% overloaded, and the 20,000 backup red dots are locked but have a transmission delay of 3 seconds. If the shared field of view is optimized, the mirror S+++++ can counter-control the taunt chain. They thought that the sea of thousands of people was overwhelming them, but they didn't know that I, the Black Qin hidden cave, had predicted everything. The strategy was reversed, and I sacrificed Gu Han's iron wall for Yi Ji's ghost thorns, and the 25% growth buff was hidden and triggered. His mind was as calm as dead water, and he smiled and whispered, "Optimize. Fully open the shared field of view." The blue and purple ripples of the handle exploded in huge waves, and the bracelet mirror unfolded the holographic sand table to sweep the red spots of the weak points of the thousands of people. The jingle system prompted an ear-splitting sound, Black Branch hidden cave ambush prediction triggered. Team Vision sharing S++++++++++, mirror anti-control taunt chain successful. The equipment automatically integrates the purple +4 legendary wolf soul set, and the total value increases by 25% and is permanently locked. Qin Feng's total attribute is 5,600. Sharing mode is upgraded by 250%. Hidden event buff National War Vanguard hunting unlocked, the whole team's critical hit plus 30%, debuff immunity 100%. The brilliance of the Phnom Penh Wolf Soul set pours into the whole team, the potential explodes for the second time, and the energy pool is filled with green bars and skyrockets. The scattered passers-by in the audience widened their eyes and screamed, "Qin Feng's strategy is crushing." A total of 3,800 people share the blue equipment of 50 people, and the corpse of the Wind Wolf president explodes and screams, "We are jealous," and vomit blood and worship. The whole server announced Jingguang, preliminary first round Qin Feng Shen team 45 seconds to slaughter the Wind Wolf gang, advance. Experience surges, level up to level 35. The light spots jingle in, the whole team panel purple plus 3 legendary golden edge flashes, the total attribute lock is 4,500, the map fragment 4/5 pulsates the whole view of the Shadow Fortress. Yi Ji's dagger ghost shadows overlapped 5 times, and the dodge increased by 180%. The phantom ghost domain expanded. She knelt on the ground with tears flashing wildly. "Old Qin, the vision is shared on the sand table, my predicted path is S++++++++++++, the iron-blooded deputy general is hiding." The ghost counterattack explodes instantly. Gu Handun buzzed and upgraded to 100,000 shields, with a rebound rate of 110% and an iron wall fusion invincibility. His iron fist smashed into the ground and cracked 10 meters, "Lord, it's a calculation." Sharing no damage, fully open, counter-control and taunting, locking thousands of people, sacrifice for massacre. Han Shao Green Tide Tsunami's 15-level buff is eternal, for times the amount of milk, unlimited control. She burst into tears and held the staff, resonance increased by 25%, foreseeing a full ambush. "Qin Feng, your vision is optimized. The National War Champion is scheduled." Tang Tian's eyes widened and his eyes bulged dangerously. The Wolf Fang Axe plus complete legendary Wolf Soul set smiled ferociously. The DPS was locked at 2250W. The Mad Battle bloodline was awakened to the 3rd level. He leaped forward with the axe. 250%, Vision Sand Table, my group damage AoE pre-explosion S++++++++++++. The handle is black, the god is heaven-defying. Try to chop the air, the axe wind tornado explodes with 300 arrows, sawdust, poisonous flames flying, pine scent mixed with it. He hugged Qin Feng with red eyes and roared, "Brother, let's push the axe forward in the sea of thousands of people." Qin Feng stood up with a smile, the coolness of the controller returned, and the tacit understanding of the sand table commander increased by 150%, Gu Han, the left wing of the Iron Wall shield formation has a flaw, taunting and counter-controlling, pulling blood and slaughtering the undercover. Yi Ji, the ghost shadow counterattacks the archer's back row and scatters the gap of hatred. Tang Tian, AoE sweeps away the elite center of the Mad Wolf. Han Xiao, solves the problem controlling the buff, the energy pool locked the deputy commander's call for overload. The short blade flashed and the lightning flash penetrated the iron-blooded deputy commander's shield. 35,000 death hearts spurted blood and black smoke. He froze with a twisted grin and said, "Visual vision, share, abuse the whole army." Gu Han's iron knee smashed into the ground with a roar, and the 100,000 shield blue wave rebounded and the arrow rain sparks exploded like fireworks. The taunting chain buzzed and pulled hundreds of people to massacre the undercover. He roared, "Master's plan, lock the left wing." Yi Ji's ghost shadow walked around in the fifth layer, dodging 180% without damage. Seconds of light. Tang Tian's axe exploded with AoE 2250W and swallowed up the Mad Wolf center. The shield formation of 1,000 people shattered and clanged, and the blood bubbles on the remaining limbs burst and the experience points flashed wildly. He laughed wildly, group damage increased by 25%, and the sea of thousands of corpses rose up with one axe. Han Xiao released the green tide and controlled the entire field. The debuff immune buff was 15 layers, the tsunami milk volume was quadrupled and the battery life was unlimited. The iron-blooded elite debuff counterattacked and exploded in a chain. The casual passers-by in the arena screamed and collapsed, "Unbelievable." Qin Feng's ambush prediction increased by 25%, and the total 5,600 attributes were shared by 250%. DPS 2250W. Shield 100,000. Debuff immunity, our blue equipment cried and fell to our knees with jealousy. Full server chat reversed the golden light frying pan, God reversal, Qin Feng's black science vision slaughtered an army of thousands of people. The iron-blooded alliance was dumbfounded, pre-selected the top 8 to warm up. A river of blood pours out from the corpses of thousands of soldiers, and Dingdong's upgrade is locked to level 42. There are tons of loot, iron-blooded vice president summoning token, 5 out of 5 complete fusion of map fragments, full view of Shadow Fortress Large Edition plus first kill artifact clues, legendary wolf soul core stack, and guild debris mountain. The system gold announcement is sweeping. National War Preliminary Selection, Qin Feng team wiped out the iron-blooded army of thousands of people, and the hidden event buff is permanent. Directly into the quarterfinals. Dots of light jingle, the whole team's panel is purple +4, the legendary wolf soul is complete with gold edges flashing, the total attribute lock is 7,000, and the sharing is 300%. The cheers in the arena were like a thunderstorm, teammates hugged each other passionately. Tang Tian slapped his chest and shouted, "Old Qin, invincible at level 42, the top 8 will dominate the middle and upper guilds." Yi Ji scanned the channel with intelligence. The top 50 players in the Shadow Blade Alliance have an average level 40 purple equipment attribute of 1800, and a total DPS of 1.2 million shields. Together, there are hundreds of people in Tianqiong Pavilion, and the buff level is 20 eternal. The remaining 2,000 people have been reorganized, but their weaknesses have been overloaded. We will crush them in 3 rounds on the sand table. Han Xiaoyameng predicted, the battle is over, and we will win the championship. The top 8 arena was teleported, sweaty and excited shouts filled the air, and the bell rang to start the second round, against 50 people from the Shadow Blade Alliance. Qin Feng said calmly, shared vision, strategies to target hot weaknesses. The 4th level test explosion of Tang Tian's axe soul shattered stone pillars and made a muffled sound of dust. He smiled grimly, AoE increased by 25%, and the second Shadow Blade is crispy. The preliminaries were downwind, 3 rounds of 45 in minutes, the top 4 of Shadow Blade, Tianqiong, and Jagged Cannon went straight to the finals, with total stats soaring 8,500. Passers-by worshipped and screamed, Qin Feng is a strategic genius. The top 8 beat the favorite in 3 rounds, DPS 3000W. We vomit blood and worship. The candlelight of the novice village impulsed like a ghost, reflecting Qin Feng's sitting cross-legged figure. The palm of the handle was faintly burning. The entire shadow fortress after the 5 completely fused map fragments rotated in the mind like a blood-red phantom. The system's low bells buzzed directly into the eardrums. The ultimate secret warm-up, the core of the world dome hides the core of the void core, and the final championship key triggers the source of the black science that dominates the entire server. The air is filled with the bloody aftertaste of old wine lees. Tang Tian's giant axe buzzes redly against the wall, Yi Ji's dagger rotates and cuts the candle flame into pieces, Gu Han's iron shield wipes with a clang, and Han Zhao's green light staff taps the tabletop to buff the halo. The whole team's eyes were like blazing torches, but they couldn't suppress the chill in their hearts. The whole server gold announcement was still scrolling to worship the massacre in the preliminaries. The iron-blooded remnants were piled up in the mountains of debris. The sea of corpses of the popular Shadow Blade League and Sky Vault Pavilion was not yet cool. The top 4 of the finals went straight to the semi-finals, and the top guild, Sky Vault Empire, SC of 100 people had locked the red dot in the arena. The average level 43 purple plus 5 Emperor set has 2,200 attributes, a total DPS of 1.5 million, 25 layers of eternal fusion of the Milk Sea buff. The Captain, Imperial Overlord, boss level player's single target output is 45 million, the shield fusion rebound is 120%, the most popular list in the whole server, and the preview sandbox suppression rate is 85%. Tang Tian poured wine into the flask, the wine dripped down the root of the axe and corroded the handle of the axe. His throat rolled and his voice was low and trembling, Old Qin. The Sky Empire is not a bastard of iron and blood. Hundreds of people assist the Sea of Milk to last indefinitely. The Overlord of the Empire fiercely fights for the bloodline 5th level dual king. DPS 4500W tanks in seconds with an axe. Shared Vision S+++ Emperor Mirror counter-controls our taunt chain. We torture the popular ones in 3 pre-selected rounds. Farewell, but the sea of semi-finals. The energy pool is full and cannot withstand it. The shared 300% increase and 25% growth buff are faintly throbbing. The blue light of the controller connection is flashing wildly. My DPS 3000W lock cannot suppress their milk volume 4 times. The axe blade tried to cut the air, and the wind pressure exploded with a muffled sound. The wine table saw sawdust flying and the rosin smelling in the nose. His knees buckled and he knelt down. His red eyes glanced at his teammates, and he roared with passion. Yi Ji's ghostly clone flashed into the reconnaissance channel. The red dots on the panel were as dense as a swarm of ants. Bloodshot threads oozed out from under her leather armor. Her breathing was like a bellows. Information is locked. 50 Emperor assassins in the back row of the Sky Empire dodged 200% of the Phantom Empire. Bao the peak hand DPS is 2.5 million hatred per minute and the frequency is locked for 0.5 seconds. The Captain's Imperial Overlord's shield is 150,000 and the rebound is 125%. The auxiliary buffs on both wings are stacked 30 times and the debuff immunity is 150%. Everyone in the audience predicts the 5 of us. The energy gap has been repaired, and the announcement of the semi-final God Slaughter has flooded the screen. His eyes were as panicked as falling leaves, the knuckles on the handle of the dagger turned white, the phantoms of the auditorium in the arena were buzzing to warm up, and the live broadcast panel of passers-by trembled and screamed, the 100-man Emperor of the Sky Empire set. The total DPS of 8500 is 300%, and the pre-selection is lucky to kill the small guild, and the boss level is overwhelming in the semi-finals. We, the novices with 400 attributes in blue equipment, are crying, and their admiration turns to despair. Gu Han's iron shield banged on the ground and shook the candlestick. Sweat and blood flowed down his iron face, and the debuff from the bone cracks returned with a faint click. His hoarse voice was intermittent and painful, Master, the invincible iron wall cannot withstand the Emperor's shield. Fusion, hatred scatters 200,000 backlash per second, shared damage-free failure of 40%, a sea of 100 people plus a sea of milk to last, our level 42 wolf soul set purple plus 4 increased by 25%, the growth is not enough, the dream of the finals is shattered into the abyss. Han Zhao's green light staff trembled and she tested the buff. The 16 levels of eternal immortality were barely maintained, but her milk volume plummeted by 50%. The poisonous flames choked her nose and she retched and turned pale. Qin Feng, the resonance prediction failed, the 5th level sand table of the Emperor's Overlord bloodline suppressed our mirror image S++++++++++++, the team's debuff stacked and exploded, and the semi-final channel was flooded with, the end of the scattered people, the Empire slaughtered the gods, we are dead. The crisis is like a black tide swallowing the sky, the air in the inn is stagnant, the sulphurous Emperor's golden light is preheating and phantoms are blowing in the face, the distant arena torch is swaying and isolating the sky, the whole server chat is scrolling with red text, desperate semi-final, Qin Fengshan team fell into a sea of 100 people in the Sky Empire. DPS 1.5 million Emperor Shield push, Emperor Overlord boss level personally led, the shared collapse champion's dream is shattered, the scattered people kneel and lick into corpses. Passers-by's legs were weak and their souls were scattered. The hive collapsed and buzzed, look. Qin Feng's total 8,500 shared 300% red blood, Tang Tian's DPS dropped 2,500 W, Yi Ji's ghost suppressed. The total DPS of the Empire's Milk Sea was 1.8 million, we vomited blood and panicked and worshipped the joke. The death countdown buzzed in the ears, the eyes of teammates were dim, red bars crawled on the panel, and the tranquility was shattered into despair and blood foam. Qin Feng's eyes were fixed in the abyss, ignoring the heat wave of the candle burning his skin. He crossed his legs and refused to retreat. The magma-like red veins in the palm of the handle flashed and the extreme buzzing shook the meridians. The preview of the sand table in my mind is spinning like a galaxy. Only 6% of the flaws in the Emperor's shield array of the Sky Empire are at the seams of the right-wing assassins, the Archer's hatred scattering frequency is 0.4 seconds, the weakness of the energy pool of the Emperor's Overlord is 30% overloaded. The Milk Sea Auxiliary Debuff Anti-Control Mirror S+++++++ can be locked, and the vision shared by hundreds of people can be optimized if the Reincarnation Trap Array is optimized. Gu Han's Iron Wall lures the enemy to pull boss S level, Yi Ji's ghost cut off the retreat and blocked the assassin's domain, Tang Tian's AoE instantly became a sea of crispy archers, Han Zhao's unlimited battery life, the green tide backfired. They thought that the sea of 100 people would kill, but they didn't know that Hykelion's hidden cave was operating at its limit, and the shared S-level attribute Reincarnation Trap was activated, and Gu Han was sacrificed for 3 kills in a row. He thought calmly, and whispered with a faint smile, optimization. Reincarnation Trap, fully activated. The blue and purple ripples of the handle exploded like a doomsday wave, and the tsunami washed away the walls of the inn with the smell of burnt sawdust. The mirrored holographic sandbox of the bracelet swept through the weak points of hundreds of people and the red dots flashed. The jingle system prompted a thunderous and ear-splitting message, Black Korean Hidden Cave Reincarnation Trap triggered. Team Vision sharing S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ control was successful. Equip the automatic purple +5 Emperor Wolf Soul Fusion set to complete, and the total value will increase by 35%, and it will be permanently locked. Qin Feng's total attribute is 11,000. Sharing mode upgraded by 400%. Hidden event buff Semi-Final God Slayer is unlocked, the whole team's critical hit +50%, debuff immunity 200%, and growth explosion 35%. The brilliance of the Phnom Penh Emperor Wolf Soul set pours out like heaven, and the colors are injected into the whole team. The potential explodes at the 3rd level, and the green bar of the energy pool surges and buzzes at full capacity. Tang Tian's eyes bulged like copper bells, the Wolf Fang axe plus the Emperor's Wolf Soul fused with golden light and grinned ferociously, the DPS locked 4500 W, the Mad Battle Bloodline awakened to the 5th level, he leaped forward and the red light of the axe soul tore the roof tiles of the inn, splashing earth and fish, his voice trembled and his blood collapsed and he roared, "Old Qin." The Emperor's fusion increased by 35%, and the DPS exceeded 4500 W. Sharing 400%, my AoE reincarnation pre-explosion in the sand table is S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ black, the god is against the sky and the god is slaughtered. Trying to chop down the beams and pillars, the axe wind tornado blasted away the stone dust and choked his nose. He hugged Qin Feng and roared with a dull sound in his chest, "Brother, let's push through the sea of 100 people." Yiji's dagger ghost shadows overlapped 7 times, and the dodge increased by 250%. She knelt down with tears and knelt down on the ground to shatter the wooden board. "Old Qin, the vision is shared on the sand table. My circuit break prediction is S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ hiding? The ghostly reincarnation counterattacks and explodes instantly. Gu Hondun buzzed and upgraded his shield to 200,000, with a rebound rate of 130% and the Iron Wall Emperor Fusion Unlimited. He smashed the enemy with his iron fist and cracked the floor of the inn. Lord, divine calculation. Fully use the shared invulnerability, counter-control the Emperor's taunt and lock hundreds of people, lure the enemy to massacre. Han Zhao's Green Tide Tsunami has 20 layers of immortal buffs, 6 times the milk volume and unlimited release control. She laughed and burst into tears, holding the staff and spinning in circles. Resonance increased by 35%, predicting the whole sea of milk. Qin Feng, you are optimizing this reincarnation, champion god slaughter is scheduled. On the eve of the finals, the candlelight in the novice village flickered, the bloody aftertaste faded. Qin Feng sat cross-legged and the controller buzzed. The map fragments 5 out of 5 pulsed the whole view of the Shadow Fortress, and the system's secret bell rang in his mind. The ultimate secret clue unlocked, the core of the fantasy era. The final copy of the Shadow Fortress hides the artifact core of the World Dome. The first Slayer reveals the source of the neural controller's black science and dominates the entire server. The final champion's teleportation key is triggered, teammates' eyes are burning, crises are surging, and the championship battle is about to begin. Qin Feng stood up with a smile, the coolness of the controller returned, and the tacit understanding of the sand table command increased by 200%. Gu Han, the Iron Wall lures the enemy's right wing to open up, counter-controlling the Emperor to taunt the boss-level Imperial Dome Overlord. Yi Ji, the 7th level Ghost Shadow cuts off the back road and seals the assassin's Imperial domain. Tang Tian, the reincarnation AoE sweeps away the sea of squishy archers. Han Xiao, unlimited. The green tide of battery life backfired, and the energy pool was locked and overloaded. The short blade flashed and the lightning flashed through the 150,000 shield of the Imperial Overlord, and the 55,000 Death Heart spit out blood and golden smoke. He froze with a twisted grin and exploded into the black mist. Reincarnation, a trap, abused the entire army. Gu Han's iron knee hit the ground with a thunderous roar. 200,000 shields, blue and gold surged back, arrows rained down, sparks flashed, and fireworks filled the sky. The taunting chain counter-controlled and buzzed, pulling 50 Emperor assassins forward and self-destructing the chain. He roared violently, and his blood boiled. My lord's divine strategy, right-wing flaw lock die, lure the enemy boss to kill 3 times in a row. Yi Ji's ghostly figure wandered through the Imperial realm in the 7th level, evading 250% of the assassin's crispy back row without damage, and the blood bar instantly exploded with golden flames splashing in the nostrils. She burst into tears and laughed wildly. Prediction S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ blocked in seconds. Tang Tian's axe blasted the reincarnation AoE 4500W and swallowed the archer's center. The hundreds of people's shield formation shattered like rain, and the blood bubbles on the residual limbs burst. The experience points flashed wildly. He laughed wildly. Group damage increased by 35%, hundreds of people. The sea of corpses reincarnates with an axe. Han Zhao's green tide released control of the whole field, with 20 layers of debuff immunity buffs, 6 times the amount of tsunami milk and unlimited battery life, Sky Elite's debuff backfired and self-destructed a chain of golden light, and the Milk Sea's auxiliary green bar plummeted. Killing boss players 3 times in a row is like lightning. The overlord of the Empire kills the first corpse to explode with the token Ding Dong, an army of hundreds of corpses piles up and a river of blood pours into the arena. Ding Dang's upgrade is locked to level 45. There are tons of loot, Emperor Captain tokens, map fragment upgrades, full view of the final version of the Heart of the Void plus key trigger for the first kill artifact Core of the Realm, Emperor Wolf Soul Core stacks, and Guild Debris Mountain. The System Gold announcement swept across the entire server. National War Semi-Final. Qin Feng team wiped out the sea of hundreds of people in the Sky Empire, reincarnation trap to kill the gods. The winner of direct promotion to the finals is scheduled. Hidden buff, dominate the entire server and hunt permanently. Dots of light jingle, the whole team panel is purple +5 Emperor Wolf Soul with complete gold edge flashing, total attribute lock is 14,000, sharing 500%. Teleporting to the semi-finals, the stone bricks of the arena buzzed with the golden light of the Emperor, and the shield array of the 100-man Sky Army pulsed with red light and pushed forward with a massive 1.5 million DPS. The Overlord of the Dome raised his axe and smiled ferociously, echoing like thunder, Qin Feng. Are you lucky to slaughter the miscellaneous fish in the pre-selection? The 100-man Emperor's Milk CDP. The total number of S is 1.8 million, the red dot is blocked in the whole server, the shared black technology is overheated, and the dream of championship is shattered. Everyone in the audience screamed and collapsed, the Qin Feng team is over, 400% shared. The cheers in the arena were like thunderstorms and tsunamis, and the audience's screen was frantically flashing with golden light. Qin Feng is a god. The reincarnation trap has increased by 35%, and the total stats are 14,000 and shared 500%. DPS 4500W. Shield 200,000. Debuff immunity is 200%. We in green clothing kneel down, lick, vomit blood and worship with envy. Standards broke down during the live broadcast and screamed in admiration, kill the gods 3 times in a row, and the champion is destined to dominate the entire server. The whole server chat reversed and scrolled, Fengshen semi-final, Qin Feng Haika reincarnated and defeated the Sky Empire. The total DPS is 2 million, and the favorite is crushed. The void at the edge of the arena twisted like a black hole, the blood-red vortex pulsated and breathed out the fishy wind of metal, the stone bricks shattered and the crackling sound echoed harshly, the door of the Heart of the Void faintly opened its fangs, and the system thundered and roared, the ultimate copy, Heart of the Void is open. The 9-layer mechanism protects the core of the realm. The risk of annihilation of all invaders is 99.9%. The red dots of all server guilds are locked and the competition is warmed up. The air stagnated and sulfur corroded the nasal cavity, and the distant auditorium screamed and collapsed like a tide. Qin Feng has become a god. Go straight to the Heart of the Void. The remnants of the iron-blooded Sky regrouped and followed with 2,000 coalition forces, with a total of 3 million DPS and unlimited Milk Seas, sharing the Emperor's image S++++. We, the green and blue suits, cried and fainted, and the dream of the National War Master was shattered into corpses. Tang Tian's knuckles turned white as he clenched the handle of the axe tightly. His red eyes scanned behind him where the red dots were densely packed like a swarm of ants. His throat rolled and he roared with trembling, Old Qin, it is rumored that the 9th-level mechanism of the Heart of the Void will completely destroy the God team. The laser network dodge requirement is 300%, the energy burst is 500,000 AoE per second, the shield boss central rebound is 200%, and the debuff poisonous mist immunity is 250%. We are level 45 with a total of 14,000 shared 500% increased by 35%, but all the guilds in the server are following. The DPS peak of the 1,000 people of the Iron-Blooded Remnant Party plus the 1,000 people army of Sky Empire reorganized, and the 30-level Eternal Fusion of the Milk Sea buff is locked. Our energy pool is fully loaded and cannot withstand the double attack. The axe blade tried to chop the void, and the wind pressure exploded into the blood mist. His knees softened and he fell to his knees, and his blood collapsed and he gasped for breath. Yi Ji's ghostly clone flashed to investigate. The red alarm on the panel flashed like a rain of blood, cold sweat oozed out from under her leather armor, and she gasped intermittently, "Intelligence collapse." The 2000 coalition forces in the rear shared vision S++++++. The Emperor's archers locked the frequency for 0.3 seconds, and the assassin domain expanded to dodge 220%. They preheated the sand table to suppress our reincarnation trap. The laser network at the entrance to the Void Heart has been activated. The boss energy pool in the 9-layer mechanism has unlimited battery life. First kill. The key to the artifact core of the realm. The 5 of us repaired the gap, and the whole server's live broadcast was flooded with the words, "Single people will die, the coalition will kill the gods," the dagger whirled and cut through the air, the knuckles turned blue, and the live broadcast panel of passers-by trembled. Screaming, "Look! The Qin Feng team is trapped in a pincer attack, with a total of 14,000. The coalition's DPS is overwhelming the enemy with 3 million milk seas. The remnant party is taking revenge and the soul of the iron-blooded Emperor Dome Overlord is still alive. Jealousy turns to despair. Let's hide and pray." Gu Han's iron shield smashed to the ground with a roar, shattering stone fragments and flying. His sweat and blood flowed down his iron face, and the cracked bone debuff faintly clicked back into the air. His hoarse voice was like gravel rolling down, "Lord, the 9th level energy explosion cannot withstand the backlash, every time wave 500,000 AoE shield with a melting rate of 40%, trailing the coalition's taunt chain to counter-control our iron wall, 200,000 shield rebound 130% is not enough, 2000 C+ mechanism double kill. Our wolf soul set purple +5 increased 35% growth explosion, the champion of the finals, abyss shatter." Han Zhao's green light staff trembled and she tried the buff. The 20-level immortality barely maintained but her resistance plummeted by 60%. The poisonous fog choked her nose and she retched and turned pale. Qin Feng, the resonance prediction failed, the boss sand table image S+++++++ locked the milk sea backfire, the whole team's debuff exploded, the live broadcast red text scrolled, "Qin Feng's end, the coalition dominates the heart of the void, we are all wiped out." The crisis is like a double black tide swallowing the sky. The golden light of the 2000 coalition forces in the rear suppresses the iron-blooded remnants and roars like thunder, "Blood slaughter the blood dead of the overlord of the imperial sky." Qin Feng's lucky slaughter of the preselected. DPS 3 million Emperor C bulldoze the scattered people, shared mirror anti-control reincarnation trap, the artifact of the heart of the void, our iron-blooded sky alliance. The audience's legs were weak and the souls flew into the hive and buzzed, Allied forces 2000 Emperor sets. Qin Feng shared 500% red blood, Tang Tian lost 40 million DPS, and Yi Ji's ghost shadow suppressed. The total DPS of Milk Sea was 3.5 million, we vomited blood and panicked and worshipped the joke. The death warning buzzed in the ears, the eyes of the teammates were dim, the health bars were crawling, the tranquility was shattered into despair, and the vortex of the void opened like an abyss. Qin Feng's eyes were deep and unwavering, ignoring the fishy wind that burned his skin. He smiled lightly and stepped forward. The purple and black ripples in the palm of the handle flashed and the buzzing sound shook the meridians of the void. The mental sandbox preview of the crazy galactic inversion, 0.2-second ghost flash in the gap between the 9-layer machine's laser network, energy explosion weak point center overload rebound, shield boss energy pool lock debuff explosion, trailing coalition right-wing assassin seems 6.5% archer hatred 0.35 seconds. Hycelian hidden cave is running to the limit, shared S++++++++++ reincarnation optimization is fully activated, sacrificing the energy pool for the 9th level instant break plus 3 consecutive massacres of the coalition forces. The dead water in his mind was calm, and he whispered like ice, optimization. In the heart of the void, the 9th level reincarnation trap is activated. The blue and purple waves of the handle exploded and the tsunami exploded and washed away the edge of the vortex. The stone wall was scorched and cracked. The holographic sand table swept the mechanism and the coalition's red dots flashed. The golden thunder of the ding-dong system exploded, Hycelian hidden cave 9th layer of void reincarnation triggered. Team Vision sharing S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ counter-control successful. Equip the automatic purple +6 legendary Wolf Soul Fusion set with a complete set, and the total value will increase by 50% and be permanently locked. Qin Feng's total attribute is 21,000. Sharing mode upgraded by 700%. Hidden buff Heart of the Void God Slaughter is unlocked, the whole team's critical hit +80%, debuff immunity 300%, and growth explosion 50%. The ultimate secret is revealed. The fantasy era is a testing ground for alien technology, the source of the core black science of the dome, and the champion dominates the dimensionality of reality. The brilliance of the colorful legendary Wolf Soul set pours out like a galaxy, injecting all the colors into the entire team. The potential explodes at the 4th level, and the green bar of the energy pool surges and buzzes with overload. Tang Tian's eyes bulged, the copper bell exploded, the Wolf Fang axe plus the legendary Wolf Soul merged with purple and black light and grinned ferociously, the DPS locked 7000 W, the mad battle bloodline was awakened at the 6th level, he leaped forward, the axe soul black and red tore through the void, rubble flew and metal shattered, his voice trembled and blood spurted out and roared, Old Qin. The legendary fusion increased by 50%, DPS broke 7000 W. Total enjoys 700%, the pre-explosion of the 9th level of the sandbox is S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ source of the black science of the alien trial field. The controller controls the reality. He tried to chop the edge of the vortex, and the axe wind tornado blasted the energy debris and choked his nose. He hugged Qin Feng's chest and hit the thunder. Brother, the 9th level plus 2,000 coalition forces will be reincarnated. Yiji's dagger ghosts overlapped 10 times, and her dodge rate increased by 350%. She knelt down and knocked on the stone bricks with tears in her eyes. The blood splashed into pieces. Old Qin, Vision Sand Table Laser Network predicted S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ 9-layer instantaneous break hit the boss. Gu Hondun buzzed and upgraded to 300,000 shields, with a rebound rate of 150%. The Iron Wall legend was fused with invincibility, and his iron fist smashed into the earth and shattered the void. Empty Rift, Lord, Divine Calculation. Shared damage is fully activated, counter-control energy bursts to lock the coalition's taunts, carry 9 levels in exchange for massacre. Han Zhao's Green Tide Tsunami has 30 layers of buffs for eternity, and 10 times the amount of milk for unlimited control. She laughs and bursts into tears, pulls the staff and spins the green mist, resonance increased by 50%, predicting all mechanisms plus C of Alliance Milk, Alien Trial. Qin Feng's Reincarnation Optimization, Reality Master Plan. Rushing into the heart of the void in an instant, the laser beams of the dark tunnel intertwined like the buzzing sound of a death scythe cutting through the scorched air. Yiji's Ghost Shadow evaded 350% at the 10th level and instantly penetrated for 0.2 seconds. The dagger cut the mesh and the red light shattered and electric sparks flew everywhere. She burst into tears and laughed wildly. Prediction: S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ laser net seals it. The first level broke the clang, the second level blasted the blue ball with 600,000 AoE per second, Guhan's iron knee smashed into the ground and exploded with thunder, the 300,000 shield surge rebounded and the arc filled the corridor with fireworks. Flash, he roared with blood boiling, Lord's divine plan, the energy blast center is locked, and the 9-layer chain is counterattacked. The golden wall of the third shield boss center rebounded 200%, Tang Tian's axe exploded, reincarnation AoE 7000 W was swallowed by the black and red sea, and the shield shattered. Ding Dang Ryu's energy pool overloaded and exploded, and he laughed wildly. The damage to the group increased by 50%, and the corpses of the boss exploded. Han Zhao's green tide released control of the entire audience, and the 30-layer debuff immunity was 300%, and the poisonous mist corroded the nose and backfired, causing the wall of the corridor to collapse. Only 30 seconds after the reincarnation of the 9-layer mechanism was broken, the mid-boss Void Guardian Beast roared and appeared in the energy pool with unlimited DPS and a peak shield of 8,500,000. It smiled twistedly, "Invasion of the Sanren?" The 9-layer total annihilation rate is 99.9%, the core of the world dome, the alien black Kofil, etc. Qin Feng smiled lightly and flashed his short blade, making him instantly S+++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ the electric light of the blade penetrated 500,000 shields, 85,000 death hearts sprayed black blood mist, his beast eyes bulged in despair and twisted corpses exploded with purple flames and rancid smell, reincarnation. Trial field. Dominator. Ding Dong's first kill loot exploded, ultimate upgrade stone x5, value increased by 200% permanently. The core key of the realm is fully triggered, and the real-life connection is warmed up. The Emperor's Wolf Soul core is stacked to the limit, and the Guild's Slag Mountain is upgraded. The system gold announcement swept across the entire server, the 9th level of the Heart of the Void is instantly broken. The Qin Feng team killed the boss, the ultimate upgrade stone increased by 200%, and the total attribute lock was 63,000 shared by 1,500%. The secret of the black technology of the alien trial is revealed, and you can go straight to the finals to dominate the reality. The ultimate hunting buff for all servers. The whole team shoots stone-absorbing purple light, with a total of 63,000 shared 1,500%. Tang Tian DPS is 15,000W, Yiji dodges 700%, Gu Han's shield rebounds 200% at 1 million, Han Zhao's buff has 20 times the amount of milk at 50 levels, and the equipment purple +8 mythical wolf soul set is golden and purple flashing. 2,000 coalition troops from the rear rushed into the entrance of the tunnel. Blood Soul, the leader of the iron-blooded remnant party, roared, "The artifact is ours." DPS 3.5 million C push. However, he fell into a reincarnation trap. Qin Feng Sand Table Commander's tacit understanding increased by 300%, Gu Han lured the right wing with an iron wall, Yiji ghosted the assassin, and Tang Tian AoE sweeps away the archers, and Han Zhao's green tide counterattacks. Gu Han taunted thousands of people, and the shield reflected the sea of arrows and fire. Yiji's tenfold cut of the crispy back rose health bar instantly emptied, Tang Tian's sea of axes swallowed up the DPS, breaking a river of blood of tens of millions of corpses. Han Xiao removed the control debuff and self-destructed the chain. The blood soul shield of the leader of the coalition was shattered, his eyes were cracked, he knelt down in despair and spewed blood. Qin Feng. 63,000 in total, sharing 1,500%. DPS 15,000W soared by 200%. The alien black science reincarnated and tortured our Imperial Sea. The blood slaughter Emperor Qiong died in vain, revenge became a joke, and all annihilation regretted it. The corpse explosion token jingled, 2,000 corpses poured down the corridor, and the experience points were increased to level 47. The audience outside the arena cheered the thunderstorm and tsunami, and the live broadcast flooded the screen with golden light. Qin Feng Reality Master. 9-level instant break increased by 200%, and the total 63,000 stats share 1,500%. DPS 15,000W. Shield 1 million. We in mythical costumes kneel down, lick jealousy, vomit blood, and worship. Passers-by crazily worshipped with weak legs and souls flying, God-defying slaughter. 2,000 corpses of the coalition forces, the alien trial is revealed, invincible in the final. His teammates hugged each other passionately, and Tang Tian clapped his chest and roared into the void, Old Qin, level 47 myth set, the source of black science in reality. Yiji burst into tears, the core of the realm is pulsating, and the final guardian angel is coming to warm up. Gu Han raised his shield, withstand the ultimate sea. Han Xiaolumang foresaw and laughed wildly, the battle situation is in full swing, and the snatching and tailing is about to begin. Qin Feng smiled lightly and the controller buzzed overload, the ultimate door to the heart of the void blasted open, the golden shadow patron saint came roaring, and an army of tens of thousands of red dots swarmed across the guilds and the server, and the undercurrent of murderous intent pulsed like the end of the world. Deep in the heart of the void, the ultimate door suddenly opened. The low roar of twisted metal was like the heartbeat of a giant beast. The heat wave of sulfur corrosion mixed with blood rushed to the nostrils. The core of the world dome faintly pulsated with purple-black light, reflecting the steaming mist of the blood river of the corpses of 2,000 coalition troops on the wall of the corridor. The red dots of tens of thousands of guilds across the server surged like a swarm of ants, and the live broadcast panel outside the arena exploded with golden light scrolling, the aftermath of Qin Feng's conferment of gods. The boss was defeated instantly at the 9th level, with a total of 63,000 and a 1,500% share of 1,500% slaughter of the sea of 2,000 emperors. Reality dominates the reservation. But the ultimate door is opened, and tens of thousands of people from the top 10 alliances in the whole server press the border, and the total DPS peak is 50 million. Limited. The Emperor Image S+++++++++++ is locked, the end of the Sanren God team is a joke. The audience's legs were weak and their souls were flying, screaming and collapsing. Iron-blooded Remnant Soul plus Sky Empire plus Wild Wolf Alliance reorganized 3 waves of tsunamis, the 80-level growth of the shared buff is 100%, our mythical set is crying, and Qin Feng's hunting buff limit can't withstand thousands of rounds. Tang Tian clasped the handle of his axe tightly, and beads of sweat rolled down his knuckles. His red eyes scanned the entrance of the corridor covered with red dots, and his throat rolled and roared with trembling. Old Qin. The ultimate gate pulsating patron saint warms up, the source of the black technology of the core of the world dome, and the alien trial champion's reality increases. However, the first wave of the 10,000-strong army of the 10 alliances in the whole server is over. The DPS peak is 50 million. The Emperor's archers are locked for 0.1 seconds. The assassin domain is expanded by 400%. The Milk CD the above counter controls our reincarnation trap, and the shared 1,500% increases by 200%. However, the energy pool is overloaded and the debuff stacks by 60%. After 3 waves of combos, our Wolf Soul set gold and purple +8 also melted. The axe blade tried to chop the pile of corpses, and the blood mist burst into the nostrils. His knees were slightly bent and weak, and his blood collapsed and he gasped, "Brother, the sea of 2,000 corpses has just cooled down, and thousands of people are coming, and the revenge of the iron-blooded sky is still there." Yiji's ghost clone flashed to investigate, and the red alarm on the panel flashed like a rain of blood. Cold sweat oozed out from under her leather armor, and her fingertips trembled intermittently, intelligence paralysis. The first wave of 3,000 iron-blooded remnants plus Sky Dome reorganization, shared vision S+++++++++++++ Emperor C preheating sand table suppression, the ultimate door laser shield activated, rebound 300% energy blast 800,000 AOE per second, the second wave of the Mad Wolf Alliance's 4,000 assassin domain the road is closed, and the total amount of the third wave of 10 alliances is 63,000. The live broadcast reads, "The remaining power of the God team is lost, thousands of people slaughter the gods live." The daggers rotated and cut the air, their knuckles turned purple, and the passers-by players shivered and screamed, Qin Feng is in a desperate situation. 1,500% sharing. 10,000 people, DPS, 50 million Emperor Mirror counter control, 9-level head killed, worship and pray in despair. Gu Han's iron shield smashed to the ground with a roar, shattering the bones and splashing blood. His sweat and blood flowed down his iron face, and the cracked bones debuffed faintly. His hoarse voice was like gravel, "Lord. The Guardian of the Ultimate Gate has arrived to warm up, 3 waves of energy explosions could not withstand the backlash. Each wave of 800,000 AoE shields melted 50%, thousands of people taunted the chain-controlled iron wall, the 1 million shields rebounded 200% were not enough, the Emperor C double attacked the wolf soul to grow and explode. Han Zhao's green light staff trembled and tested the buff. The 50-layer eternal immortality barely maintained a 70% drop in resistance. The poisonous mist choked his nose and retched and made him pale. Qin Feng, the resonance prediction is interrupted. The 10 Alliance sand table image S plus 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 locks the Milk Sea backlash. The whole team's debuff explodes. The red text, Qin Feng's 9th layer of afterglow is extinguished. An army of 10,000 dominates the core of the world dome. The second wave of the Sea of Corpses. The triple black tide of crisis swallowed the sky, and the remnant soul of the first wave of 3,000 coalition forces, the golden light suppressed the iron-blooded leader, roared. Qin Feng was lucky enough to kill the boss. DPS 30 million Emperor C bulldozed the divine team, shared mirror to counter-control reincarnation. The core of the world dome is black, we are the iron-blooded 10 Alliance. The arrows rained and the fire roared at the entrance of the corridor, the blood was hot, and the audience was buzzing. Weak legs, 3,000 Emperor sets. Qin Feng shared 1,500% of the red blood, Tang Tian lost 80 million DPS, Yi Ji Ghost suppressed. The total DPS of the Milk Sea is 40 million, we are panicking and vomiting blood and laughing stock. The death warning buzzed, the eyes of teammates dimmed and the health bars crept wildly, tranquility shattered the debris of despair, and the ultimate door pulsated with a sinister smile. Qin Feng's eyes were deep and unwavering, ignoring the fishy wind that burned his skin. He smiled lightly and stepped forward. The purple and black ripples in the palm of the handle flashed and buzzed through the meridians. The sand table in my mind previews the galactic swirl. 3 waves of Alliance right-wing assassins seem with 5.2% Archer hatred for 0.2 seconds, Milk Sea weakness debuff overload, ultimate door laser gap 0.1 seconds ghost flash. Hycelian hidden cave global connection is activated, share S plus 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 reincarnation optimization lock, sacrifice the energy pool for 3 waves of instant slaughter plus patron saint warm-up. The dead water in his mind was calm, and he whispered like ice, optimize the global sandbox, and the reincarnation trap in the core of the world is open. The blue and purple waves of the handle exploded, and the tsunami exploded and washed away the piles of corpses in the corridor. The river of blood was steaming. The holographic sand table swept away thousands of people. The red dot plus the ultimate door mechanism flashed. The golden thunder of the jingle system exploded, Hycelian hidden cave, world dome full domain reincarnation triggered. Team vision sharing S plus 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 plus, the coalition mirror image counter control was successful. The mythical wolf soul set automatically +9 legendary fusion is complete, the total value increases by 80% and is permanently locked. Qin Feng's total attribute is 95,000. Sharing mode is upgraded by 2,500%. Hidden buff Kingdom God Slaughter is unlocked, the whole team's critical hit plus 120%, debuff immunity 500%, and growth explosion 80%. Warm-up of the ultimate prize, the source of black science in the alien trial field is dimensioned, and the core of the champion realm is fused with the reality handle. The brilliance of the golden and purple mythical set pours into the stars, and the colors are injected into the whole team. The potential explodes at the 5th level, and the green bars of the energy pool surge and overload, buzzing and arcing, choking the nose. Tang Tian's eyes bulged like copper bells exploding, the mythical axe plus wolf soul fusion gold purple light grinned ferociously, DPS locked 25,000 W, the 7th level of the mad battle bloodline awakened. He leaped forward with the axe soul black gold to tear the rubble of the corridor and splashed blood mist, his voice trembled and blood spurted out and roared, Old Qin. Myth +9 increased by 80%, DPS broke 25,000 W. Share 2500%. 3 waves of sandbox pre-explosion S plus 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 plus. Realistic handle merges with the source of black science. The handle kills thousands of people and ascends the dimension. Tried to cut the first wave of forwards, the axe wind tornado roared and the metal shattered. He hugged Qin Feng's chest and hit the muffled thunder. Brother, 3 waves plus the ultimate door, we will be reincarnated into smoke. Yi Ji's dagger ghosts overlapped for 15 times, and the dodge rate reached 900%. The Void Empire expanded infinitely. She burst into tears and knelt down, knocking on the corpse, shattering the bones and splattering blood. Old Qin, Vision Sand Table Laser Shield Prediction S plus 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 plus. 3 waves of instantaneous break and backstab at the crispy skin. Gu Hondun buzzed and upgraded to 1.5 million shields, with a rebound rate of 250%. The Iron Wall Myth Fusion was invincible, and his iron fist smashed into the earthquake and cracked the cave. A crack, Lord, divine calculation. The shared damage is fully activated, the anti-control energy explodes and thousands of people are ridiculed, and 3 waves are exchanged for a river of blood. Han Zhao's green tide tsunami has 80 layers of buffs that are immortal, and her milk volume is 30 times unlimited. She bursts into tears and holds the staff, spinning the green mist filled with sulfur diluted, resonance increased by 80%, foreseeing the entire coalition plus the ultimate gate, alien dimensionality. Qin Feng's reincarnation optimization. The black science of reality is undoubtedly the master. Momentum mobilized, the first wave of 3,000 coalition forces fell into reincarnation, and the tacit understanding of Qin Feng's sand table command soared by 500%. Gu Han's iron wall lured the sea of archers, Yi Ji's ghost shadow sealed the assassin's domain, Tang Tian's AoE wiped out the emperor's fragile, and Han Zhao's green tide countered the milk debuff. Gu Han mocked and locked the 2,000 people in mockery, 1.5 million. The shield rebounded, rain of arrows, sea of fire and arc filled the corridor, fireworks exploded and flesh were stinking. Yi Ji cut the back row with 15 layers of crispy blood bars, and ghosts howled in the air. Tang Tian's sea of axes swallowed up the DPS, totaling 20 million corpses, and a river of blood poured out. Han Zhao's control debuff self-destructed, and the green light devoured the emperor's set. And shattered into pieces. The leader of the iron-blooded remnant soul melted his shield, his eyes were cracked, and he knelt down in despair and spewed blood. Qin Feng. 95,000 total attributes share 2,500%. DPS 25000W soared by 80%. Reincarnation tortures our Emperor C. Revenge turns to dust, all annihilation regrets heartbreak. 3,000 corpses experience flashpoints gathered like crazy. The second wave of 4,000 Crazy Wolf Alliance assassins pressed the territory but fell into counter-control. Yi Ji's ghost shadow at the 15th level evaded 900% instantaneous cutting, Gu Han's iron wall rebounded and the thorn blade jingled, Tang Tian's axe exploded and cleared the field, Han Zhao's buff was 80 layers of unlimited milk, and the instant blood mist filled the air. The third wave of the milk sea of 5,000 alliances has an unlimited DPS peak of 60 million. The leader of the Emperor Qiong remnant spirit roared, the core of the world dome is ours. The milk sea buff grows to 100 levels and crushes the god team. However, the sand table preview locked the weakness. Qin Feng smiled lightly, the reincarnation is broken instantly. The whole team broke out in tacit understanding. Tang Tian DPS 25,000 WAOE reincarnation instant milk master. Tang Tian laughed wildly, shared 2,500% critical hit 120%, your milk sea self-explodes debuff chain. Han Zhao's green tide counterattacked 30 times the milk volume to control the whole field. Gu Han rebounded 250% arrow rain autophagy, and Yi Ji cut and blocked the road. The leader's imperial dome shield shattered and he knelt down and spurted out black blood, sharing 2,500%. 80% growth explosion. Alien black science reincarnation. We are a mountain of corpses from the 10 Alliance. A sea of 10,000 corpses poured into the tunnel, and the experience increased by 48 levels. The system gold announcement swept the entire server. Heart of the Void kills thousands of people instantly in 3 waves. The Qin Feng team's total attribute lock of 95,000 is shared by 2,500%, the mythical +9 wolf soul increases by 80%, and the alien trial black science dimension upgrade announcement. God-level hunting buffs on all servers, invincible in the finals. Outside the arena, thunderstorms and tsunamis were cheered, and the live broadcast of the Golden Friar scrolled, Qin Feng is the master of black technology in reality. The sea of 10,000 corpses surged by 80% in 3 waves, with a total of 95,000 sharing 2,500%. DPS 25,000 W shield 1.5 million. Individual passers-by knelt down and worshipped in jealousy. The whole server's guild Slag Mountain collapsed, individual players rushed in to apply for friends, and the controller connection prompt skyrocketed, guild invitation plus 99,999, the first hot search for reality dimension upgrade. The river of blood in the corridor was calmly steaming, the sound of shattering metal in the pile of corpses gradually subsided, the sulfur heat wave slowly dissipated, and the laughter of teammates echoed in the passionate embrace and panting. Tang Tian clapped his chest and laughed loudly, holding the axe on his shoulders with golden and purple light shining. Old Qin, level 48 myth +9, full experience of the sea of 10,000 corpses, the reality controller is integrated with the source of black science. The brotherly love is so deep, the aftermath of the god-defying slaughter is so exciting. Tears fell from his red eyes, and he kowtowed with his fists and a river of blood splashed. Yiji's intelligence scanned the pulse of the ultimate door, and she knelt on the corpse with tears shining. The whole sand table is S plus 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 plus. The 3 waves of intelligence are parallelized perfectly. The core key of the world vault triggers the dimensionality buff plus 200%, and the soul of the old Qin god is worshipping. She whirled the dagger into her waist, and the ghostly figure gathered in trembling worship. Gu Hondun raised the sky iron and roared, "My lord, the power." The top of the iron wall is unharmed in 3 waves. The rebound will eat up thousands of people. Be loyal to the invincible and live forever. The sweat and blood dried up and the iron face smiled, and the thick arms wrapped around the chest and shook the tunnel. Han Zhao's green light shone down and the 80-layer buff locked the entire team forever. She smiled and cried, hugging her staff and spinning the green mist filled with blood, diluting it. Resonance prediction has been fully optimized to increase by 80%, and the milk volume is 30 times unlimited. Qin Feng, the master of reality, our milk sea is eternal. Qin Feng smiled and put away the overloaded buzzing of the controller, and distributed the spoils in his mind. The ultimate upgrade stone X5, the average score of the whole team increased by 200% and was permanently locked. The Iron Blood Soul token plus the Emperor Wolf Soul Core stacked Guild Slag Mountain upgrade S++. The core key of the World Dome complete pulsating reality connection warmed up and the buzzing heat flowed in the palm. The distribution is completed, the myth set growth and explosion is 80% permanent, and the energy pool is overloaded to unlock the black source buff. Ding Dang System privately messaged Jin Guang, Qin Feng Guild Zhao Shan is upgraded to the god level. Members automatically share 2,500% of the Wolf Soul set +9, and the reputation of the whole server is at its peak. Teammate panels flashed, with total stats soaring to 120,000. Tang Tian's DPS was 30,000W, Yiji's dodge was 1,000%, Guhan's shield rebounded 300% from 2 million, Han Zhao's buff had 40 times the amount of milk at 100 layers, and the golden purple myth was completely shining like a star. The world of the entire server changed because of Qin Feng, and the audience in the arena knelt down in worship and the live broadcast filled the screen for eternity. Qin Feng rose against the sky. 9th level plus 10,000 people became gods in the aftermath, reality rose to the dimension of Black Master, and the dreams of scattered people were shattered. We salute you. The guild's broken slag mountain instantly absorbed 10 people. Thousands of people are scattered, the undercurrent of red dots dissipates fear, tranquility descends on the corridor, the river of blood reflects the golden and purple flowers, the sense of accomplishment fills the heart like a warm current, teammates sit around and gasp and laugh, the ultimate gate pulses slowly, and the purple-black brilliance of the core of the world dome pulses gently like an invitation. His teammates hugged each other passionately, and Tang Tian slapped his chest and roared loudly, "Old Qin, invincible at level 45, brutally destroying the party in the finals." Yi Ji's intelligence scan, the heart of the void is opened, the core of the ultimate secret realm pulsates, and the championship key is triggered. Gu Hondun raised his hand, "Help." Live in the Sea of Dominion. Han Shao smiled in anticipation and said, "The whole situation of the battle will be revealed, the source of the black science will be revealed." Qin Feng smiled lightly as the handle buzzed, the vortex of the void heart loomed at the edge of the arena, and the undercurrent crisis was about to break out, and the pulse of the ultimate copy door was waiting to be revealed. The destructive form of the world dome beast covers the sky with its black wings, and the golden shadow deep in the heart of the void roars like thunder to tear the sky apart. The energy blast of 1.5 million AOE per second laser C buzzes and cuts the wall of the corridor. Black cracks snake and expand. The sulfur corrosive heat wave mixed with the stench of electric arc assaults the nostrils. The steaming mist of the corpse pile in the blood river instantly evaporates into a blood mist that fills the field of vision. The shield pulsates with 3 million golden and purple colors, the laser rebounds 500%, and the space distorts and hums. The DPS locks the whole team infinitely, and the red bar crawls wildly. The system's red alert flashes wildly, the destruction form of the world dome beast is activated. In the final stage of the alien trial, the mortality rate is 99.999%, and there is no first kill in the history of the server. The live broadcast panel exploded and scrolled across the entire server with golden light and blood red, the aftermath of Qin Feng's conferred god is broken. The final boss shield has 3 million DPS unlimited, rebounds 500% energy to explode 1.5 million AOE, shares 2500% of the red blood of the god team and melts it, and the dream of the black science in reality is shattered by 3 feet of grass. The sea of corpses of the 10 alliances is in vain, and the Sanren myth set is crying and the whole server is stunned. Tang Tian's axe handle was bleeding, his knuckles turned white and sweating like rain. He glanced at the sea of black wing lasers with red eyes, cutting the bones and spattering blood. His throat rolled and he roared and trembled intermittently, "Old Qin." The black wing domain expanded by 800% in the destruction form. The laser gap was 0.05 seconds. The shield 3 million rebounded 500%. We grew and exploded. DPS unlimited frequency lock, Tang Tian 30,000 WX soul reincarnation fault, energy pool overloaded. The debuff stack is 120%, and the mythical +9 wolf soul is increased by 80%. But it can't withstand a wave of AOE. The axe blade tried to chop the edge of the black wing, and the sparks exploded and the electric arc choked his nose. He bent his knees sharply and splashed the golden purple armor with blood. He collapsed and gasped, "Brother, 3 waves of thousands of corpses have just cooled down. The 5 of us have a total of 120,000 and share 2500% of the divine beast. It has become a joke. Revenge for the iron-blooded sky is immortal." Yi Ji's ghost clone flashed for investigation, the red and black alarm on the panel flashed wildly, laser blood rain poured down and cut the scorch marks on the leather armor, her cold sweat penetrated the jade neck, panting like silk, her fingertips trembled, the dagger buzzed, intelligence collapse. The source of the alien black science in the form of destruction, the field of vision S plus 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 sand table suppression is fully sealed, the black wing domain AOE is infinitely expanded, rebound 500%. The 15th heavy pressure of the ghost shadow was broken, and the DPS was infinitely crispy and instantly evaporated. The live broadcast was filled with, the end of the Qin Feng team, the Ultimate Trial Cemetery live broadcast, and hundreds of thousands of scattered people in the guild of the whole server had their legs weakened and their souls flew away. The daggers rotated and cut the laser, and the knuckles were purple and black, and her beautiful eyes burst with despair. Old Qin, even if we dodge 1000%, we will evaporate, and the core key of the world vault will pulsate and laugh. Gu Han's iron shield smashed into the ground with a roar, shattering the blood river and ice cubes flying. His sweat and blood flowed down his iron face and twisted, and the cracked bone debuff clicked like a thunderous resurgence. His hoarse voice was intermittent like gravel. Lord. The shield is 2 million and rebounds 300% when encountering the mythical beast. 3 million autophagy. Melted by 80%, the Blackwing laser C shattered the iron wall with 1.5 million AoE per second, and the taunting chain control was invalid and the DPS was locked indefinitely. The alien champion of the ultimate trial is our grave. The arc of the shield surface filled the corridor with the stench of fireworks, and his iron knee hit the ground and the cracks expanded dangerously. Han Zhao's green light staff trembled and tested the buff. 100 layers of eternal immortality barely maintained the resistance, plummeting by 90%. The poisonous mist and electricity stunk his nose and retched, making him pale and despairing. Qin Feng, resonance prediction black screen, alien black science mirror S plus 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 plus. The sea of anti-control milk exploded, and the team's debuffs exploded by 200%. The red text on the live broadcast scrolled, Qin Feng defied the sky and sealed the gods, destroyed the divine beasts to ascend the dimension, and the second wave of the sea of scattered corpses. The green tide's test was diluted by the laser evaporation and the green mist filled with blood. She knelt down with a staff in her hands and a river of blood splashing on her skirt. The black tide of crisis finally swallowed the sky, the golden shadow of the mythical beast roared through the void, the first wave of the laser C cut the red bar of the whole audience and dropped 20%, the blood bar was drawn and the whole team was weak at the knees and souls were flying. The live broadcast audience was buzzing and screaming and collapsed. The mythical beast is destroyed. The shield is 3 million DPS unlimited, the rebound is 500%, share 25% of the divine team melted, Tang Tian's DPS 30,000 W was broken, Yi Ji's ghostly shadow evaporated. The whole server was in panic and despair, the source of Qin Feng's black science was turned into a grave. The tranquility shattered the abyss of despair, the ultimate door's sinister smile pulsed like prey, the core of the world's dome was twisted and taunted by the purple-black light, and the death warning buzzed and stung the brain. Qin Feng's eyes were abysmal, ignoring the scorch marks on his skin. He smiled lightly and stepped forward with a river of blood splashing on his gold and purple armor. The purple and black ripples in the palm of the handle flashed and buzzed, shaking the meridians in the void. The Mind Sand table previews the galactic spin and inversion, the 0.03-second laser gap of the Black Wing's weakness in the destruction form, the 5.7% debuff overload of the core pulsating alien Heika source, the energy pool mirror counter control, the ghost shadow flash at the seam of the expansion of the divine beast domain. Heika Lian hidden cave, world dome full domain reincarnation upgrade S plus 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 sacrifice X5 of the ultimate upgrade stone for the divine beast instant slaughter plus reality fusion source. His thoughts were calm, and he whispered like an ice blade, optimization. The alien trial reincarnation trap is open, and the guild slag mountain is locked for 100,000 people. The blue and purple waves of the handle exploded in a tsunami and washed away the corridor, causing blood mist to evaporate. The holographic sand table swept across the black wings of the mythical beast plus the core mechanism of the world dome exploded with golden thunder. The golden thunder of the ding-dang system exploded into the ears and brain. Black Branch hidden cave alien trial global reincarnation triggered. Team Vision sharing S plus 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 plus. The mythical beast mirror counter control was successful. The mythical wolf soul set automatically plus 10 legendary limit fusion is complete, and the total value increases by 150% and is permanently locked. Qin Feng's total attribute lock is 200,000. Sharing mode is upgraded by 5,000%. Hidden buff, Destruction God unlocked, the whole team's critical hit plus 250%, debuff immunity 1000%, and growth explosion 150%. Warm-up of the ultimate prize, Alien Proving Ground Black Science Origin Reality Controller Fusion Upgrade Dimension, the World Dome Core Champion dominates all servers plus reality. Guild Debris Mountain S plus 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 automatic 100,000 wolf souls plus 10 sharing. The brilliance of the golden and purple mythical set pours down the galaxy and explodes. The 5 colors are injected into the whole team plus the guild 100,000, the potential is awakened at the 6th level, the green bar of the energy pool is skyrocketing and overloaded, the arc is buzzing, the corridor is full of electricity, and the smell is rising to the sky. However, a sudden change occurred in the depths of the void, and the golden shadow of the guardian god of the beast came roaring, summoning the black wings of the destruction form to spread out and cover the sky. The energy blast was 1.5 million AoE per second. The laser sea buzzed and cut into the scorching smell of the air. The system thundered, final boss, the destruction form of the realm beast is unlocked. DPS unlimited shield 3 million, rebound 500%, the ultimate alien trial. Qin Feng's eyes flashed slightly, and the controller buzzed to deduce the last move of the sand table and the galaxy turning upside down. Yiji's dagger ghost shadows overlap 20 times and dodge soared to 2000%. The Void Empire's infinite expansion cut the black wings. She knelt down with tears and knelt down to the blood river, shattering the golden blood and splattering her skirt. Old Qin, the divine beast's vision sand table laser shield prediction is S plus 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 plus. The black wings instantly broke the crisp core and counterattacked and evaporated. Gu Hondun buzzed and upgraded the shield to 4 million, with a rebound rate of 500%. The ultimate fusion of the Iron Wall myth was invincible. He smashed the earth with his iron fist and cracked the void crack. My lord, the god is peerless. Sharing no damage to the full, anti-control energy explosion locks the taunt of the beast, the black wing laser eats itself into ashes. Han Xiaolu Chao Hai Zhao's 200-layer buff is immortal, and her milk volume is 80 times unlimited. She bursts out laughing in tears, holds her staff, spins the green mist, tsunami, electric stinky sulfur and dilutes it, resonance increased by 150%, predicting all mythical beasts plus alien sources, the reality ascends to the dimension of black science and dominates, Qin Feng's reincarnation optimizes eternity. Momentum mobilized, Qin Feng's sand table commander's tacit understanding soared 1000%, Gu Han's iron wall lured the laser sea, Yi Ji's ghost shadow sealed the black wing domain 20 times, Tang Tian's OE swept the core, Han Zhao's green tide anti-milk debuff overloaded, and the guild's 100,000 shared reincarnation suppression. Gu Han mocked the black wing of the locking beast, and the 4 million shield reflected the laser sea arc and filled the void with fireworks. Exploding gold blood burns and stinks evaporate, Yi Ji's 20-fold cutting heart core edge health bar is instantly empty, ghosts cry, wolves howl, and gold wings shatter, Tang Tian's sea of axes engulfs the DPS with a total of 50 million gold and blood pores. Han Zhao's control debuff self-destruction chain green light swallows the shield and shatters the clang. And the guild's slag mountains 100,000 red dot phantoms share the buff superposition to suppress the DPS and drop unlimited. Layers. The shield of the divine beast's golden shadow melted, its eyes were cracked, and it screamed in despair, kneeling in the void and spraying gold and black blood, Qin Feng. 200,000 total attributes shared 5,000%. DPS 60,000W surged by 150%. Reincarnation and destruction form. Alien trials turned into dust, all annihilated and heartbroken. The energy exploded, and the black wings evaporated, and the laser sea reversely controlled and cut itself, and the golden blood mist filled the air. The second wave of Black Wing Rebirth's DPS increased infinitely and tried to counterattack, but was stuck in the sand table. The preview was locked. Qin Feng smiled lightly. Reincarnation broke through the second form instantly. The team's tacit understanding broke out. Tang Tian's DPS 60,000 WAOE Reincarnation second hardcore. Tang Tian laughed wildly, shared 5,000% critical hit 250%, the Divine Beast debuff chain self-destruction. Han Zhao's Green Tide counterattacked 80 times the amount of milk to control the entire void. Gu Han rebounded 500% laser autophagy Black Wings. Yi Ji cut the territory 20 times, and the guild's 100,000 buff tsunami suppressed it. The shield of the mythical beast shattered and he knelt down and sprayed black gold blood, 150% growth explosion. The reincarnation of the alien black science, the dream of destruction is shattered. The third wave of the ultimate form energy pool was overloaded and buzzing. The beast roared and the DPS reached a peak of 100 million, and the shield evaporated and tried to return together. The System Gold announcement swept the entire server thunderstorm, the final boss of the Void Heart, the first kill in the destruction form of the World Dome Divine Beast. Qin Fengshan team's total attribute lock of 200,000 is shared 5,000%, Myth plus 10 Wolf Soul increases by 150%, Alien Trial Black Source Reality Fusion announcement. The ultimate god-level hunting buff in the entire server dominate eternity in the National War Finals. Guild Debris Mountain S ranks first in the entire server. The experience points of the Divine Beast Corpse explosion skyrocketed by 52 levels, and the golden light of the loot poured in, the core of the World Dome, the source of the alien black science, reality handle fused with the dimension-enhancing artifact, Destruction Wings X5, the whole team fused flight domain plus 1000%. The ultimate reincarnation core stack guild S +++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++++ and the mythical upgrade stone X10, the average score value increased by 300% permanently. Tang Tian's eyes bulged as if they were about to burst out of his sockets. The mythical axe plus wolf soul plus 10 fused golden purple and black ons, grinning ferociously. The DPS locked 60,000 W and the mad battle bloodline was awakened at the 8th level. He leaped forward to tear the axe, soul, and black gold apart. The black-winged laser sea sparks and blood mist splashed, and his voice trembled like thunder and hot blood spurted out. Old Qin. Myth plus 10 increased by 150%, DPS broke 60,000 W. Sharing 5,000%, Sand Table Divine Beast Pre-Explosion S plus 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 plus. The guild's 100,000 shared invincibility with the integration of the real handle. The axe wind tornado blasted the golden blood bursting arc and choked his nose. He burst into tears and hugged Qin Feng. The river of blood in the corridor is calm and golden blood is steaming, the corpses pile up and the remains of mythical beasts are shattering, the stinking heat wave subsides gently, teammates hugging each other with blood, gasping and laughter echo like thunder. Tang Tian clapped his chest and laughed loudly, holding the axe on his shoulders with golden purple and black light shining. Old Qin, level 52 myth plus 10, fully loaded with experience of destroying divine beasts, real handle fused with alien sources to be the master. Deep brotherly love, the aftermath of the ultimate god-defying slaying is so refreshing. His red eyes rolled down with hot tears, and he kowtowed with his fists, golden blood splashed, and the 8th level of the mad war blood pulsed like a drum. Yiji's intelligence scanned the core pulsation of the world dome, and she kneeled down in worship with tears of worship. The entire sand table is S plus 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 plus. The divine beast intelligence is paralyzed perfectly, the dimension upgrade buff plus 500%. The soul of the old Qin god will worship forever. The ghostly shadow of the dagger whirling around the waist shivered in worship. Gu Hondun raised the sky iron and roared into the void, my lord, the power is unparalleled. The top of the iron wall is destroyed without injury, rebounds from the self-devouring divine beast, and is loyal to the invincible eternal master. A smile bloomed on the sweaty and blood-dried iron face, and the cracks in the chest were healed with thick arms. Han Zhao's green light shed 200 layers of buffs and locked the whole team plus guild forever. She smiled and cried and hugged the staff. The green mist tsunami was diluted with golden blood, resonance prediction has been optimized to increase by 150%, and the milk volume is 80 times unlimited. Qin Feng, the master of black science in reality, our milk sea is eternal. Qin Feng smiled lightly and put away the overloaded buzzing of the controller. It gradually subsided and turned into a warm pulsation. He distributed the spoils in his mind. Ultimate upgrade stone, the distribution is completed, the growth and explosion of the myth set is 150% permanent, the energy pool overload unlocks the alien source buff and is shared across the server. Ding Dang System Private Message Golden Light Burst, Qin Feng Guild Zhaizhan Mountain Number 1S plus 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 in the server. Members automatically share 5000% of the Wolf Soul plus 10, the peak reputation of the server is eternal. Personal title, Reality Dimension Upgrade Master is unlocked, the controller's black source is fused 100%, and the real attributes are synchronized by plus 200%. The total flash stats of teammates' panels soared to 300,000, Tang Tian's DPS was 80,000W, Yi Ji's dodge was 3000%, Gu Han's 6 million shield rebounded 600%, Han Zhao's 300-layer buff was 100 times the amount of milk, the golden-purple mythical limit flashed the galaxy, and the guild's 100,000 red dots golden light pulsated invincibly. The whole server world was reborn because of Qin Feng, and the audience in the arena knelt down in worship and the live broadcast painted the everlasting gold words on the screen, Qin Feng rises against the sky. The heart of the void is completely broken plus destruction and the first kill to become a god. Reality ascends to the dimension of Black Master. The dream of Sanren comes true. We worship and live forever. The Zatsa Mountain Guild absorbed 50,000 of scattered people plus remnant parties surrendered, the red dot disappeared forever from fear, tranquility descended into the heart of the void, the river of blood reflected the golden and purple extremes, the warm current of achievement filled the air like a sea of stars, teammates sat around and gasped and laughed, the source of the core of the world dome gently pulsed into the handle, and the real world hummed with faint changes. There was a thunderous tsunami of cheers outside the arena, and the live broadcast of the Golden Friar scrolled forever, Qin Feng's real Black Master is the god. The sea of destruction beast corpses skyrocketed by 150%, with a total of 200,000 and a share of 5,000%. DPS 60,000 W shield 4 million. Individuals passers-by knelt down and worshipped with jealousy and worshipped eternal life. Guilds in all servers were invincible. The guilds in the entire server were invincible and fearful poured into the mountain. The red dots were undercurrent and dispersed forever. The individual people's crazy friends were buzzing plus 999,999. The handle connection prompts skyrocketed and the heat of reality burned in their palms. At the moment of fusion, new ripples suddenly appeared deep in the purple-black source of the handle, and the ultimate password of the alien trial flashed in his mind. The true source of the fantasy era, the black science of the multidimensional universe is unlocked through linkage. After the reality rises, the endless secret realm is opened, the full server master is just starting, the new boss, Cosmic Guardian is warming up. Qin Feng's eyes flashed and smiled, and he took off the neural connection handle. The lights in the real room pulsated, the heat flow in his palms lasted forever. The starry sky outside the window was distorted like an invitation, and a new adventure quietly began.